Alan's queer, but not us though.
Fuck all y'all.
Oh, I'm so sorry. People with the midnight chat attack. There's a DT chat. We got the YouTube chat over here on the side. We got the music still playing in the background. Tay saying, yo! Max saying, hi. But, yes, it is happening. It is happening. Ganja Guru, how you doing today, sir?
Terribly fine, sir. Terribly fine.
Oh, yes, terribly fine.
Yeah. I know. It sounded like in my head when I said it sounded really redundant. Not redundant.
Just
oxymoron.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, scientist.
Contradictory.
Wait, you're gonna like bring up his science fucking education over just a word? Like, I mean, come on.
Does that all the time, man. He'll just ask me how my day was. Like, yeah, as a scientist, how was your day? I'm like, good.
I'm awesome. It was very sciencey and everything.
Have you created Jurassic Park yet? Wait on that.
Fuck that, man.
Wait, fuck that.
Jurassic Park. It always fucking explodes. Fuck that shit.
No, hey, honestly, if you, I mean, because you are a scientist and everything, if you had the ability to actually bring back dinosaurs, would you do that?
Fuck no.
Then I really hope you don't succeed in life. I don't want you to fucking be a scientist and bring back velociraptors. Like, what the fuck? You're wasting your fucking time then.
I always think the science behind it is sound, but the application of actually having, like, making them come back is fucking stupid and pointless. But actually getting it so they can mass produce and maybe get the skins of them, that's cool.
All right. Hold on. I got a question then. How about instead of dinosaur shit, like from, like, the Stone Age and shit like that, like woolly mammoths, you know, saber-tooth tigers, oh my. Can we bring that shit back?
Hey, we're actually apparently this is random tangent where we are working on bringing that shit back. It's just finding enough DNA that we understand how it works, because we can try to retroactively do that to fucking elephants right now, but we need actual like cells from these creatures to know exactly how they work. Other than that, we're just fucking guessing and hope we get it right.
So it's just one giant guessing game of what cells go with this cell, and
it's more or less.
Yeah, well, you guys are fucking weird. I don't know what the fuck. Wait, go ahead, Ganja. I'm gonna let you ask this question. He can answer it, and then we're gonna move on because I'm about to fall asleep, and I'm confused because I'm fucking stupid, people. Yes, I plead ignorance. But go ahead, Ganja.
No, I was just gonna criticize how they just throw shit at a dartboard and hope it works.
Yeah, that's called genetics. Like, that's how we do a lot of our genetics. Is we kind of just we don't understand genetics to a certain level that we understand mechanics, where we can break it down. Genetics, it's like everything fucks up at a fundamental level, on an atomic level, so it's really hard to predict stuff.
That's been your MCA science class, y'all. Hope you got some education.
I know, like right now, I thought he was about to like create a fucking aura when he was moving his hands, like, you know, genetics, and we just fondle, like, you know.
Fondle, and the next get everywhere, and that's how the human race spread around.
Absolutely, man. Our race has started with fondling, people, fondling all over the place. But we want to fondle you though, but with permission, and the permission that we'll get is when you, Alan's like, no, I'm white, don't do that. People will think it's a bad thing, the worst thing, right away. But no, and by the way, I was talking about that in the YouTube and DT chat, by the way. Just want to say thank you for both chats being, you know, like in here, talking your shit, or talking not so much shit, and just being cool and having a good time. We got the DT chat over here. If you guys are fans of Double Toes, you can go ahead, go into your account, post memes. You guys know all about that shit. Good things like that. And then over here in the YouTube chat, I've been noticing, man, the YouTube chat has been kicking the Double Toes chat's ass every single fucking week. I mean, am I wrong for saying that, Ganja, or no?
I think you're incorrect. I think sometimes the YouTube chat is just yelling at us and calling us mean things, and we get cool pictures off the DT chat.
You get used to it.
But I mean, hey, you, like, Alan, what chat do you think is better nowadays, man? The YouTube chat or DT chat? Like, who do you think is kicking more ass?
The Midnight Chat Attacks chat, unlike the Ringside Hangouts chat.
I was confused.
Killed fucking all the momentum from that shit.
No, it wasn't even momentum. I was literally just confused. My confusion killed the fucking momentum because I was like, wait, we got our own chat. I'm like, oh, the ringside hangout and the thing. And by the way,
I was trying to talk shit about the ringside hangout, and Ganja didn't have my back.
Yeah,
because the joke wasn't funny.
Ooh, no. I mean,
well, you would know a thing or two about funny jokes, huh?
Yeah, I do know about funny jokes all the time on the show.
And by the way, you say that, but I'm talking about over here, bro. Look at that, 54 feet. Oh, fuck, that's not a lot. Well, there goes that, ladies and gentlemen. The ringside hangout needs your donation.
All you, man.
All 49 of those bots is all you, Betty.
Man, shut up. No more talking about the ringside hangout. I'm scared about how bad we're gonna look now because of you motherfuckers. But you know, we tried the ringside hangout. And you know, hey, by the way, too, I'm just saying, you can talk all the shit you want, okay? But at least ringside hangout has fucking wrestlers on their shit. But the Midnight Chat Attack, look at that, Agit Pai, whatever.
And dinosaurs and robots and other shit besides wrestling.
Yeah, that's some cool shit. I don't know what you're trying to compare.
I'm just saying, dude. You got that motherfucker, Mr.
Oh, God.
Agit Pai in his fucking face.
You made the thumbnail. This is you sabotaging the MCA, man.
It is. Look at man, dude. Hey, we're all for the killing of net neutrality. We love the killing of. I'm just playing. We don't mean that.
Fucking speak for me, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in that boat alone, dude.
Yeah, speaking of attack the chat, I'm about to get fucking attacked by the chat members in this motherfucker. So, yeah. And, but we'll see what happens. And Eddie's saying, yay, fanboys, man. Jesus Christ. And, yeah, I'm just looking over here, too. Like, MCA hosts accused of fondling over the internet. Yes, that would be very, very strange. But we don't work for Screen Junkie, so I guess we don't have to worry about that. But,
wow, man. That was how Nick hired me. It was just like I was that scene out of Walking Dead. He just grabbed me by my dick and was like, you're my bitch now.
Wait, that wasn't Walking Dead? What the fuck did you watch?
Yeah, it was. He
grabbed, I don't remember that one.
When Negan grabs the fuck out of Rick. And basically punks him out like a bitch.
He doesn't grab his dick, though? Like, oh, let me see that sausage.
Man, I'm pretty sure he grabbed his dick.
Did you actually watch the episode?
Yes, I saw a clip of it.
Dude, you watched a porn parody on accident, like, Rick gets...
This guy looks nothing like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. What's everyone talking about?
Oh, God. And Jeffrey Deep Morgan. But no, that's bad. I'm sorry. That was a really bad pun. But, dude, you don't really have a whole lot to do with this fucking name. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. There's no sexual innuendos you can do with that. But we got some sexual innuendos to do with you because we're going to definitely fuck ringside, like Tay said. That could be a sexual innuendo. Good job, Tay. See, I'm teaching that woman. She's saying all the good stuff, the great jokes, sexual puns. But no, seriously though, people, if you guys want to get into the call and give us some of your really bad fucking jokes, maybe they won't be as bad as mine, but who knows? We can find out. All you gotta do is go to doubletoasted.com, okay? And there's a little PM box. Where's that PM box, Ganja?
It's right here in the little corner side, or maybe right here, because sometimes
because
you know everything's inverted on the X, so sometimes you get confused with your left and right side. But minus which side it's on. Make sure to check out that box. It's going to be blinking red or yellow. You click on it. It's going to be either me, Alan, or Nick, handing you a PM to get inside the Google Hangouts. And Nick, speaking of that Google Hangouts, why don't you just pull up the rules so I can just continue onwards?
Oh, yeah, we'll continue on because there's the rules right there, sir. You take that shit and take it up the ass. You.
No. Rule number 1, guys, newcomers, join the call first. We're all about those new, fresh-smelling faces that aren't going to take it in the ass because you're new. You're not ready for that yet. After the 4th week, oh, you're ready. So make sure, guys, to let the newcomers join in and let us know about newcomers so we can hit them up in the PM box. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other.
You suck ass, Rick. My ass.
Fuck you. Especially if it just has no contest with the rules, because then it just ruins audio quality and later viewing for people who actually enjoy our show. Rule number 3, please no nudity, folks. YouTube has a strict guideline, and with FCC pretty much killing net neutrality, this is probably going to be standard. So keep the titty in your shirt and keep the dick in your pants. This is not Pornhub. We ain't getting views for that. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show, and that comes on for certain topics. Sometimes there's a segment we know you're not going to be useful for. Sometimes there is. So when we hand you the link, don't give it to anyone else because we'll kick you and their dumbass for clicking it. Rule number 5, read the rules. And Allie, this Allie girl ain't here to do it. Please.
Don't be a dick, meanies.
Oh, God.
Wow, you all these bad.
God damn it.
No.
You know what?
You ruined it.
That's it. People have a great night. Fuck this shit. No.
I tried to chase things up and boy did that fucking
we actually have a rule in the ringside hangout that we do when people say bad shit like that, okay? So you're over here, you're sitting down, you're in the toilet bowl. It's time to flush you. And he's gone.
What?
We flush each other in the ringside hangout.
That was the worst thing, what you just did fucking 5 minutes ago, Al.
Look, listen, we got 2 hours to go. We're gonna do worse shit, Ganja. Okay, don't you
boy,
fucking.
It can only go from here.
Y'all do that on the ringside hangout. Y'all gonna make some bad jokes like that. I feel bad for you.
It's not that bad. Look, I'm gonna flush myself. Watch, it's funnier when you see the fucking icon. See, it's funny. It's good. No, okay, maybe not. It's funnier when you know what? Just watch the other show, goddammit. Fuck you.
I agree with Kay. No.
No.
Really quick, too. I'm looking over here in the fucking DT chat. Josh is a fucking asshole. It's me every time the MCA comes on. What the Midnight Chat Tech is up next. Boom. Break that shit. I love that movie. Rush Hour 2 is a great fucking movie.
Rush Hour 2 still holds up, man.
It really
I watched
does.
this shit a couple of years ago, man. It's still...
Are y'all high?
Yeah.
That movie still holds up, man.
Y'all do know that movie is trash, right?
It's not trash. It's
You,
actually a
I
pretty good
will
movie.
fight you.
Look, I laughed at it, and it has some good fight scenes, but that is literally just Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker doing blackface and yellowface throughout the whole film, bro.
Yeah. I don't know.
What that makes no fucking sense.
What are you talking about? The hang time, you got Chris Tucker screaming his ass off.
That's his
Nonsense.
career.
Yeah, and they make it 10 times worse than this shit.
But you'll love Kevin Hart at anything.
I'm not done with this, friend. In the first one, they even go. Is it the first one or the second one? They go to a fucking China shop in the ghetto, and they have basically 90s dressed up in Asian garb, like from the 18th century.
That was probably the
time,
first one.
And it was the whole time was just racist jokes about Asian people. That was it.
It wasn't that bad.
Dude, this whole oh my god, I'm glad you showed the scene. This scene starts out with the
fighting, man.
oh, no, I'm ignoring that, Alan. I'm ignoring that. I'm on a rush hour rant. Fuck you. This whole scene starts with them going to a fucking Asian brothel and him making a bunch of Asian jokes looking at Chinese women.
It wasn't that bad.
No, again, you're over fucking like you're over. You're missing.
I'm not over. Are you looking at what I'm looking at?
I am looking at it. I remember the scene as a kid.
Oh,
Never forget the scene as a kid.
man.
Like,
It was burned into my brain, man.
Jackie Chan's looking at Chris Tucker like, motherfucker, am I really part of this?
No, he's not. Jackie Chan's like, oh
no.
no, lots of Asian pussy. This is great.
Because basically what it was, it's like, yeah, him just being in a different, like almost a fish out of water type thing. Like Jackie Chan was in the first one. It was
I'm sure there's a lot of fish out of water in that place, dude. But anyway.
I don't think that means what you thought it meant.
It's supposed to be a dirty joke. It's like really dirty. Emphasis on dirty.
It's a stinky joke if you get it.
Yeah. I like how Alan's like, dude, I don't know. I've never been around. Nah, anyways, I'm sorry. And by the way, too, you say that Jackie Chan looked like he was depressed, not liking this. Nah, dude, Jackie Chan was enjoying his shit. He had such a good fucking time. You can see.
No, what you don't get, Nick, is off screen. It was the producer holding his check. He was just looking at the numbers. He's like,
oh, yes, look at that. $5 million. Or whatever. Wait,
I'll,
5
I'll
million.
give you that to Rush Hour 3. Rush Hour 3 was the most forced sequel I've ever seen. Rush Hour 2 is still a great fucking movie.
Yeah,
Rush 3 is the first sequel.
Really quick, too, I see that somebody was actually in here. Allie, how you doing?
Hello.
God.
God damn.
Why?
What the fuck happened to your hair?
Yeah, that happens when I have my headset.
God damn.
That's what happens when we wear a fucking headset for hours. Your hair looks weird afterwards, man.
Jesus Christ, you look very different, bro.
Headphone head. Instead of
Not
her
much.
Wait, hey, Alan, do that again one more time, bro.
Dude. Wait, you want me to take my headset off again?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna electrocute him. Ah!
Yo, man, I just realized Alan's got
I hate you so fucking much.
Alan's got the same haircut as Leon S. Kennedy from like Resident Evil 2.
He kind of does with the emo thing on the side.
Yeah,
oh
like
my god.
emo part.
I'll take fucking Leon from RE4 versus fucking Dumb and Dumber, man.
God, dude, look at. By the way, this dude, he got so many girls back in the day. He was actually a really good-looking guy. This movie really just pulled the fucking ugly out of him. Like, holy shit, dude.
I love the tooth. That one tooth in the front.
What they
that's
fucking
like...
do? Did he chisel and just pop one of his teeth out?
I don't know, man. That was great. I love that movie so much, man. I'm sorry.
That movie's trash, man. I'm sorry.
I know we're being very nostalgic right now and everything too. Like this is like the second movie in a row now that we talked about that's like from old 1990s comedy or whatever the fuck. Well, actually, Rush Hour 2 was not in the 90s, but either way, yeah, dude, I fucking love this shit though. Jim Carrey, it's such a shame everything that's been going on with this dude and him going fucking nuts talking about how people are not real.
Fucking good, man.
Yeah, man. God, I really am scared the day that we had to put Jim Carrey in our thumbnail because he did some weird shit to somebody or.
He does weird. He's done weird shit, man.
Oh, God, yeah. I don't know, man. Is there anybody like that, Gandra, that you get worried about nowadays? Or like, oh, fuck, please don't do something bad?
There's several people, but the one on top of my mind has kind of really fucked up already. And it was Charlie Sheen. Like, I was one of his supporters when he lost his mind initially because I thought he was just going to just be full balls and just, like, say, fuck Hollywood and the system. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do drugs. I'm going to party. And, like, now I recently found out, hey, not only was he fucking consensually, he was raping asses, too.
Oh, he was raping? I didn't know. I thought he was. Why would you have to rape if you got people doing shit for you because of money?
It's that power shit, man. They don't give a fuck.
Dude,
it's just,
people get bored after a while, no matter what it is, man.
And I heard rape and sexual assault said about him, and he's like became like this anarcho hero for me. And as that slowly died, I'm like, okay, put him with Bill Cosby.
No, that fucking sucks, man. But yeah, I really hope that something like that doesn't happen. I mean, I don't mind making fun of fucking regular people and everything, but certainly do not like making fun of people that I grew up watching and whatnot. But speaking of making fun of people who are not popular or anything, this is not a trending story or anything at all. It's just something I found funny as shit. But apparently, people, when driving a getaway car, do it. Well, I mean, basically, Jordan Man fucking made it 2 miles down the fucking road, and then they did this at the robbery. I don't know if it was a bank. I think I wrote bank in the fucking thing. My bad. Wrong story there. But yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know if there's any kind of like consolation, but like the dude was 18 years old, and his buddy over here, Justin Larry, which his parents.
Varian.
His parents did not know like who to fucking name him after. It's like, oh, it should be Justin, it should be Larry. I got it, Justin Larry.
I don't trust someone fuck with 2 first names. Right?
Mary Sue, like
That's
I
true.
hate those type of names.
Me too.
2 names on top, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had to sue someone named Mary Sue. Like, like, I'm gonna sue you, Mary Sue, and Sue was sued by Mary, and then Mary Sue Mary.
Oh no, what if the name was just straight up Sue? I'm gonna sue you, Sue. Wait,
Oh.
what?
Yeah, no shit. No, that's a concerning fucking situation there. I completely agree with him. And by the way, Jack's Play is actually in the chat too, Mr. Verified fucking thing over there. And I really want that verified thing on our shit. You know, I want to be able to be in somebody's chat. It's like, I gotta check them out. They like me. But people actually check out Jack's Play. I mean, basically, you can click on his name there. I'm sure it'll take you to his YouTube page. Check his shit out, dude. He's fucking awesome. Makes me feel like shit because I eat like shit. But one day, I will have a 6-pack and I will fight you, Jax. I will fight your bitch ass. But either way, though, this story. I don't know, man. I'm just talking shit. But anyways, this story, though. And I didn't even highlight it. Oh, my God. There it is. Here's the thing, Ganja. I don't know much about fucking sites that have fake news stories. Does this sound fake to you? Because to me, it does.
No, it doesn't, man. You know how dumb some criminals are?
Not that dumb.
No. I've hung out with some criminals that are smart, and they just find a way to game the system. And the only reason they're not doing anything really productive in their life is because they didn't take school seriously. But these guys, 21 and 18, these motherfuckers either still in high school or just barely in college. They're not the smartest tool in the shed to be carrying a gun in armed robbery. All right? You got to baby stuff. You got to sell weed. You got to run a little bit of coke, and then you upgrade to weapons and rob. They take all the steps and just play GTA. It's like, yo, man, this is easy. All we do is stick up the dude. He gives us the money, and we drive away. To the point that they forgot that in video games, you don't have to use gas because it's a useless feature. In real life, you need gas in your goddamn car.
Oh, man.
No, don't you see? They needed money to gas their car, so they had to rob someone first.
Oh.
I was thinking the same joke, man.
I just picture these motherfuckers hauling ass. Yo, you got the money out the register? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna find a Chevron.
The thing is,
Man,
too, is like apparently.
You know what would be the most hilarious thing though? If they robbed a gas station.
No, they robbed a grocery store apparently.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious if they robbed a gas station.
That would have made more sense. You just get the gas and then don't take the fucking, and then just rob them and then run away.
I don't know, maybe it was like something that happened like out of spontaneity too. Like they came like, I want to buy some gas, and then I went out, oh, give me all that fucking money. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe that happened. But yeah,
really drunk.
In the DT chat showing off the getaway car.
Oh, that's
Get
fucked
out of push, man. We need to just start the
It's worse because that shit looks so fucking nice. Like that car is so badass
That
looking.
car is really nice though.
I'm just picturing them doing this as right now, and as they're pushing, the cops are just waiting, and as they get closer, they just throw out the spikes.
Man,
Yeah, exactly.
if I find it, I'll post in the DT chat, but it reminds me of this commercial for Canadian snow tires.
What?
And it's like these criminals trying to get away, but they don't have snow tires, so they're stuck in the snow. And then the police officer behind them are in the exact same situation. So it's not a high-speed chase, it's just both of them is stuck in the fucking snow.
That sounds like a Canadian thing. There's no and
Oh,
one
man.
thing just going really fast.
Yeah, man, but no, for me, I think this shit's just fucking funny. I mean, I'm almost like in a situation like, oh, these guys are dumbasses, blah, 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 but it's almost like, yeah, maybe the adrenaline was getting into him or something. And I mean, do you have a reason, like, have you ever done something this stupid? Like, I hate to make you put your shit out there, Ganja. Sorry, buddy. But, like, have you ever done anything that it was close to being as stupid as this?
All right.
Anything you're comfortable with, I will put it like that.
All right, you've heard this story. I've said this story a couple times. All right, when I was younger, I was a little wannabe badass, and I'm putting this disclaimer out there, especially if there's any young kids in the audience that are watching this, who shouldn't be watching this by Karen and Guidance, by the way. We are a very adult entertainer show.
That's
But if you're watching you badasses, pay attention. Don't do this shit. If you are going to do this shit, make sure to write it down because it's a good story. Anyways, all right, so I was probably like 13 or 14, and me and my buddies, right, we were trying to find a place to smoke. And when you're a little kid trying to find a place to smoke weed, 13 or 14, you got to be in an excluded place and somewhere no one will be able to find you, right?
Mhm.
And my buddy, I'm going to call him K. If someone from my old neighborhood is watching this, you already know who I'm talking about. K had an aunt that had left town, but she had still owned the house. So he came up with the brilliant idea of like, yo, man, let's go break into my aunt's house and smoke in her house. So me and a few other buddies were like, fuck it, we're going to go in there. And we're going to get on the side door. And from what he told me, the side door is always open. So technically, we didn't break into the house. We just used an unlocked door. So as we go in there and we hop in the house, we just start smoking left and right. It's just a Cheech and Chong basement. Looks like every stoner film you ever seen. And we're just baked out, just zoned out, watching TV. And then suddenly, my buddy just hears something. He looks out the window. Yo, man, my aunt returned home. It was like a scene out of a movie. One dude fucking flipped over the ottoman, and it flipped over. He almost busted his knee. One dude almost ran to the lamp because he jumped behind the couch so he could hit the side of the door first. And as we're running through, we hide in her garage, right? We're not the garage. We're in a shed, and it's out the side of the house. And the whole time, we're just watching it from the shed. And she walks in. What the fuck? Who's this house? It smells like a fucking college. She comes out, and she already know who done it, because only a few people know about the door. And she comes out, Jay, where the fuck are you? And we're all hide up in the shed. And we all look at him like, yo, man, you know we all can't go out there, right?
You had to sacrifice somebody?
We sacrificed him. He went straight to his aunt.
Man.
He was smoking the whole 9 yards while we're hiding like fucking people in World War II. And the shit's going to come and discover us.
This is the start of Inglourious Bastards, man. You're all just underneath the floorboards.
Man, we were there for at least an hour before we fucking snuck out the backyard.
Oh my man. God damn it.
Right. I gotta give shout outs. I mean, granted, like the YouTube chat's kicking ass as far as the talking goes, and you know, sometimes DT doesn't do as good of a job. But these gifs, man, once YouTube chat is able to do the gifs, I'm gonna love this shit. But
Plant.
oh, look at that shit! One more time. Good God Almighty! Hey, God, that son of a bitch!
Dude, if you scroll up, there's just some guy that just stole a potted plant.
What?
I don't know what the fuck he wanted to do. Yeah, that guy just stole the fucking potted plant. Like, mine now, motherfuckers.
Why?
It's the first one, Nick. You scroll up all the way so the audience can see. If y'all look right at the door, you'll notice it. It's about to start up.
Man.
Sneak skill 100.
Look at the people laughing on the side.
I'm like, no one noticed that motherfucker doing that?
No, there's a couple there that noticed, but they think they're too busy laughing.
All right, to be honest, out of all the things to steal, if you watch someone steal a potted plant, that's usually a sign they're mentally ill. I don't think.
Or just fucking lost a bet.
I mean, if you see value in a potted plant at that point, like it's like, dude, just stop. Like, you know, like don't stop him. Don't do nothing to call the cops and waste their fucking time. This dude.
Yeah, but it's like, why are you gonna waste the cops' time and your time? Well, if the guy's not gonna get caught, you might as well just let him run away.
Chris Brown got a point. I'm gonna make sure to use that for my lawyers. I wasn't technically breaking. I was just entering.
But the thing is, though, fucking hilarious. I'm gonna use that too one day. But no, I mean, there is better things to do with your time than fucking steal a potted plant from some kind of fucking wherever the fuck they were at. But one way you should not be wasting your time doing is watching, apparently, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Oh, this.
I
I expected you to fuck that up really hard.
Bitch, I'm a Star Wars fan.
Star Wars, dun 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 dun. Like,
Oh wait, okay, I thought, man, I was like, wait, you didn't do the Mortal Kombat thing. What the fuck?
Yeah,
No.
I
forgot that I fucking.
No, man, but really quick though, man, I gotta say, I don't know how our talk's gonna go tonight, but I mean, Ganja, really quick, I'm gonna give you the fucking full go ahead. Tonight, when we do this in Flex and Chill, should we do spoilers, yes or no?
All right, the thing is, I kind of want to get the chat involved because this is one of the things I don't know how many people saw it on this Friday and who saw it on Thursday. Because the thing is, they had screenings on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but that wasn't fucking everywhere in the country. So a lot of people don't really got the time to actually go see it till Monday. Mm-hmm. So you guys in the DT chat room as well in the YouTube chat room, let us guys know ahead of time if you want it to be a spoiler discussion, and if not, we'll just talk a regular review, just some brief summaries today, and then about I think. Next week we'll either do it on the midweek or the midnight chat attack, and we'll do it a full-on spoiler conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that we can just get the spoiler talk done tonight because fuck Star Wars. I can't stand Star Wars.
Hey.
Sorry, but
wait. But we're gonna be able to talk about it like non-spoiler.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whatever chat decides, because I'm waiting for them to see what they want us to do. Because, and again, it's our audience, and if they don't want spoilers, we don't want to lose them because we're talking about spoilers.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, hey, audience, like, let us know. And then I mean, even if we do spoilers, and you're like, man, I don't want to, like, I guess I'll just leave the show now. That won't be until the very, very, very end, like right before we go up. So hang out with us, being part of the show and everything, and then once we get to the end, then we'll go ahead and move on from that. But aside from that, oh, look at Star Wars. Holy shit, I just called you Star Wars.
You call me Star Wars. Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, sorry. Really? Would take it?
I'll take it.
No,
that's what she said.
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh, man. That was low-hanging fruit there.
And it was delicious.
Ugh. God.
Yeah, that is sound as good as it did in my head.
Hold on, guys.
All right, audience. I work hard on some of these dirty jokes, right?
Do you?
I do, Alan. I do. I work
He
very
works
hard.
hard on them.
I think I went on this rant before. I work hard on them. I think I'm in my head at least twice or 3 times over, and I say it out, and Nick always criticizes me. I make one fucking dumb joke. We lose him for 5 minutes. And he's gone. He's gone right now. You hear some giggles.
Man, that bothers me too. Like I'll be saying these, setting up these incredible like jokes that are require a lot of intelligence and timing. Not a single laugh. Ganja will say the dumbest fucking pun, and Nick is just gone for 5 minutes. I'm sitting here mad, going, "He laughed over that stupid bullshit."
I'm just saying because he keeps saying shit over and over. He's just like, I worked really hard on these.
Yeah, apparently the way to get Nick to laugh is just repeat the same word 5 or 6 times in a row.
Oh God, very hard, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking, oh no, man. Anyways, but no, thank you though, Star Wars. Anyway, but no, man. So I'm looking over here in the chat though. Jet Jackson said, "No spoilers, God damn it."
Do it. I'd rather not have spoilers. I haven't seen it. No spoilers. I'm open to spoilers.
Just do a non-spoiler review.
Yeah,
we have at least 3 people that don't want it and 5 that do. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just wait till midway to do a to do spoilers. But tonight, non-spoilers. So anyone who comes in, because I know Justice Aaron is gonna be joining us tonight, and maybe Adrian Bland. I know she wanted to discuss things too, which we haven't heard from Adrian Bland in a very long time. So it'll be awesome to have her on to discuss these things. But just be careful, everybody. No spoilers. Even right now with what we're about to talk about, no fucking spoilers. God damn it. Anyways, now Ellie and Ganja's good about that. You can trust her and trust Ganja. They're cool. Either way, though, as we continue on, Jet Jackson's lying ass Ganja knows he doesn't fucking work hard on those jokes.
Big fuck you.
I can kind of agree, but it's all good. Hey, so
don't you dare say that shit after you were giggling your ass off 10 minutes ago.
I can say that because his jokes suck. You can't say that because you laugh at it.
Man, the jokes that people work hard on, I don't like. I like my shit flaccid. But anyways, so this is what's been going on here. Now, you see on the left is Tomato Meter. Now, people who are not very familiar with Rotten Tomatoes, they're the coolest site to do fucking ratings. It's like a box office general site, really.
Sure.
And, people just, critics, obviously, review stuff, things like that. But now, last night, this was like a 68% audience score. And if you're an audience member, not with the Critic Association's card or anything like that, you get to actually review it, like, just as a fan and give it a rating. 57% people now. It's really strange how this, because here's the thing, dude. There's actually been worse movies in Star Wars franchise.
Those are DCU numbers. Like 57%, man. That's like what, Batman v Superman or Man of Steel numbers.
No, yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it's not even an agreeable thing. It's like that's literally what it is. Yeah. But on top of it too, though, is people talk a lot of shit about Justin made me laugh in the chat. I do like my shit flaccid, but no, like Alan, there's tons of Star Wars movies that people like to talk shit about. The prequels, for instance, yes, all that shit. But they get like 6%, sometimes 59%. They're getting better fucking reviews than this, and I'm like, okay, is this everybody jumping on a bandwagon just talking shit about this movie now? Because I don't know how it can be that bad. I really don't, unless you're mad because you were expecting something else.
Maybe.
So,
it's
Allie,
not bad.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
Okay, well, wait. I was gonna ask you basically. No, really quick. I'm gonna have you talk about this first, actually, because I want to ask you too. And I did it again. It's okay. Okay, but the thing is, I want to ask you, like, that number right there, that 57%. Do you think that's warranted? And go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I think that there are some things in the movie that I can completely understand why the audience might not be connecting with it as much as critics.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a whole middle part that could have been cut, and I found it boring. My mom started falling asleep in the theater.
Damn.
Yeah, and like, she was awake for, when stuff was interesting, but the whole thing with, I'm just gonna say, like, the whole Finn storyline was completely useless in the story, and that really slowed down the movie. So I can see why people didn't resonate as much with it as The Force Awakens. Force Awakens was much more of a fast-paced movie that actually, like, all the pacing was really good. This one was just off. It was off in a lot of parts. I felt like the tone was off in a lot of different parts. It didn't feel like a whole coherent movie. Like, there's a lot of amazing stuff in it, but I can understand why people might not be as crazy about it as the first one.
Now, see, here's the thing, man. Chris Brown. By the way, man, you're becoming like one of my favorite people. Like, I love watching the YouTube chat and Chris Brown and people like BBM, Broke Black Man, people like that. You guys are awesome. But anyways, aside from that, I like how Justin's like almost not off too. I was like, what, to me? Fuck you, Justin. No, but no, but I'm gonna show this really quick too. I mean, let's actually look at these numbers and see who agrees with what. Because the thing is, this is episode 1 over here, The Phantom Menace, 1999 when it came out, and yeah, the audience enjoyed it more than the critics did. The critics gave this 55%, but 59% is actually higher than The Last Jedi. And me, I defend this movie and always get shit for it, dude. I actually really like The Phantom Menace. People used to fucking talk shit about this thing, saying it's going to be the worst movie ever, now I'm going to hate it. I had fun. It was a fun movie. And it's getting these fucking reviews, and I was like, okay, so I think everyone is pretty much in agreement with that. But then you get something that's bad as Attack of the Clones, 57%. Is that not still 1% higher than Last Jedi? Like, holy shit, this is worse than literally the worst fucking movie in the Star Wars fucking anything? Like,
splitting hairs at this point, but it's one of those things where it's like, it's either going to be the greatest thing or the worst thing. There seems to be very little middle ground with this stuff.
yeah, no, Allie, we're gonna say?
And you have to remember, it's Saturday. It just came out yesterday, so I mean that score from Rotten Tomatoes for the other movies. I mean, those movies have been out for years, so I think having a more well-rounded review, wait until Sunday for people to really start going to the theater, because Saturday is mainly when people go to the theater. So I think people are probably right now going to see it. Huge audiences are going to go see it tonight. So I think you should wait until after the weekend's over to really get a good grasp of what the audience really thinks.
And that shouldn't be a barometer of how you should watch and how you should enjoy it. So with that being said, Ganja, like, do you feel like that's warranted or not? Those numbers, man. Or what do you feel?
I kind of agree. I agree with Ali to an extent, because when you look at how early it became, it's really the hardcore nerds and the huge fans like me and Ali who really wanted to go see it early to do the midnight preview. People dressing up like Luke and Leia, stormtroopers and Jedi's running around, and a lot of those people, I'm getting a feeling that they were expecting something that the movie was just not going to provide, and what it did provide was, I'm going to say it later on, it was just, kind of the same again. But I'll go into further detail later, but it's not too much. But when you look at it, like, I think this is just like the symptom of the fans that are hardcore nerds are just really crucifying this movie. And when the general audience gets the chance to see it, I think they're going to be more receptive to it, because it is a kind of a general movie when it comes to like the points it hits, the kind of stuff that the kind of stuff that all people like when they enjoy movies and whatnot.
No, I completely agree. And that's the thing. Like, this movie, and it's funny too, because nowadays people are saying, "Oh man, The Force Awakens, that shit sucked, man. I didn't like that. Like, it was just like A New Hope." And I was like, that's the thing, man. Like, this movie, Last Jedi, and I'm not hearing this a lot, and people are saying this in a good way, but I feel like this should have been a redo of Empire Strikes Back. I would have loved that. I would have loved Episode 5 basically being kind of like redone and modernized, and apparently it wasn't that, and I'm like, that sucks. You wouldn't like that?
Episode 5 is its own thing. Like, people reference Episode 5 not as a Star Wars film, but just as a great film overall. And it's such an iconic film that I think it would be extremely disrespectful to rehash Empire Strikes Back into Last Jedi. I think people would really be pissed off then, because that is the best Star Wars movie. It's one of the best movies ever made, according to a lot of people. So that's the wrong idea.
You don't feel like the quality of that movie should be like maybe the template, not necessarily the movie and what it's about, but maybe the template of how they did it should be applied to future films at all? Because I feel like
the template of
just like the way it was.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I mean, like the middle part of a trilogy being more dark and ominous versus the rest of the series. I mean, yeah, sure, that could work. Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, other films have done it before.
And how often do you? Well, I was gonna say, like, how much do you feel too that A New Hope is just like Force Awakens too? Are you one of those people that also feel like Force Awakens was totally like the same fucking movie, or not really?
I thought it had a lot of the same elements. It's very similar, I will say. I think it's different enough to be enjoyable in its own right, but I totally get what people are coming coming from saying that like, oh, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and Ganja, I'm gonna ask you, man. Like, New Hope and Force Awakens, do you feel like they're as similar as what people say? Because I feel like sometimes that's just people jumping on the bandwagon saying, "Oh yeah, that movie is this," meh. But what do you feel about that?
I think with Force Awakens, I think it is suffered from like a reference movie with, and then especially with J.J. Abrams, he's known for constantly rehashing stuff and doing all the greatest moments of the series, like we saw with him do with the Star Trek series. So I wasn't really expecting too much because I was so let down from the prequels that when this movie came out, I was blown away. I was honestly one of those people that was saying Star Wars was back. You can go back to the review because we've been doing it long enough that we did review the first Star Wars film.
Oh yeah, we did. I just realized that.
So you guys can go back to it, and I was hyped as fuck, and I think I gave it better than Sex and Full Price. But that was the thing. I was starving for Star Wars. It was the same thing with Jurassic Park. I haven't had a good dinosaur movie in a while. So when you gave it to me, it just hit all the right spots. It was a delicious meal for me.
Right.
Now that I've kind of experienced Rogue One, that did a lot of stuff differently, whether you like it or not. I disagree with everyone in the chat room who says they didn't like it. Fuck y'all. But me personally, I thought it went out of its way to do stuff, and I enjoyed it. But when it got to this one, I felt like, without going into a review, because we'll do that later, I just felt like, same shit over.
Yeah, and I'm looking over here too. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. I know it's kind of unprofessional in a sense, but I just want to look up what Justin said because he's going to be on here later and he will be talking about this a lot more. But he basically said, he said it copied New Hope, but it was still a good movie. He said Last Jedi totally stole several scenes, note for note, from Return of the Jedi, which God, I really want him to go into detail about that, but we want to be able to do that.
We'll talk about it later on.
Yeah. Fuck.
We're going to have some words.
We won't go too much into detail because it gets into spoiler territory, but they
maybe
get
Wednesday.
That shit like a motherfucker.
Yeah, maybe Wednesday we'll be able to do that, y'all. But I mean, it should be cool. And God, I'm really curious because Justin's never mad, by the way. Like, just so you guys realize why I'm reading all of his comments right now is like Justin's never pissed off about movies, and he is fucking fuming right now. Like, so,
that's the exact response he had to Rogue One.
Yeah, exactly. And I fucking hate Rogue One. I despise that fucking movie.
I hate the ending.
Literally my second least favorite, no, my third least favorite fucking movie of all Star Wars.
And
movies.
that ended made me and Alan have a mutual fight over entertainment, the theory of fucking how entertainment should go, how stories should go. We brought up philosophers and what they thought about writing. Like, I think we went into like a PhD class just to discuss how he was wrong and I was wrong.
At some point, cave paintings came out. And I wish that was a joke. We literally talked about cave paintings.
But yeah, just saying, like, yeah, some people are actually having genuine complaints without being fanboys. Sorry, he's a bit salty tonight. Coco, a.k.a. Trey, my boyfriend of Ringside Hangouts, he's saying Last Jedi was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I thought you said boyfriend.
Your boyfriend.
Oh, my... Damn.
I did say boyfriend.
Okay, that's extra weird, y'all, because he's my son, so it's a little creepy.
Hey, man, you been watching Riverdale getting your incest on?
Oh, fuck you. We might be talking about that, too. Who knows? We haven't enough time, but,
Lord,
man,
no.
they finished Riverdale. Holy fuck. It's been a bad week for Ganja and Allie. Well, I don't know about Allie. We'll see about that later. But anyways,
No, Nick. When Riverdale's the highlight, it's a bad week.
God damn. But Trey's saying, yeah, Last Jedi was a fantastic movie, which I'm glad that finally somebody's saying something about that in a positive light. But he's also saying that this movie has divided the fan base. Some people hate it, some people love it. That's just where we are with this movie right now. Try Hard Black Guy, which, by the way, thank you for coming into the chat, man. He says he finished Zelda's DLC tonight. That's going to be on Star Wars. That's great. Star Wars and Legend of Zelda, same universe. Right now, I'm telling you right now, it's great. No, anyways, but we'll talk about that later, though. Fucking just, yeah, Star Wars is just amazing. I'm actually kind of happy a little bit, to be quite honest, that everyone's just fucking talking all this shit about Star Wars.
So you don't have to?
Exactly, but then I'm like, yeah, I might have to just maybe defend it a tiny bit because I do feel like it's a little bandwagony. And I hope that's not the case because people do that with DC so much, and I think it's kind of ruined DC because I don't think if DC did a movie that was good at this point, it would not be taken as good. People would be ready to shoot at every little fucking nitpick they can.
Well, no, they did Wonder Woman.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, absolutely. Fuck you. I know that was a dig at me. I don't like that movie.
That wasn't a dig at you. That was the only DCU movie that people didn't say that was complete trash. Like, it has a good rating on, for using Rotten Tomatoes, it has a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone had, genuinely good, and they had problems with it, but it was a genuinely good movie. So it's like, I think just with this whole Star Wars thing, I think Ganja has a point of, like, this movie, people expected this to be something it wasn't ever going to be because of probably, like something Trey said earlier, is the trailers. I think there's a serious problem with how trailers sell movies nowadays, because we had the same discussion during Punisher, and it's like I honestly avoid watching trailers because I'm a spoiler fucking craze and I don't ever want to see anything, but also I don't want the movie to sell me something I'm not going to get. I don't want to sit there and expect it's going to give me pizza and show up with a burger. I'll still enjoy the burger, but I was sold pizza.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Good point.
It's a good point, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss that more so later on too.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Alan might end up leaving because he's like, "Oh, we're hearing the spoilers, oh my god." So it is what it
Y'all are gonna fight, and I'm just gonna hide in the corner until y'all don't kill each other.
is. Well, no, we might all be on the same team. I don't know. I'm scared of Ali and Ganja. I feel like you guys are gonna fight each other tonight.
I'm gonna do a tag right here, and I'm gonna cut immediately to y'all yelling when we do a highlight of this.
But no, people, and one more thing too, to ask before we continue on, and we won't bring this up anymore until the very end of the show. But Ganja, I'm gonna start off with you, man. Do you feel like this is the beginning of the end for the Star Wars like mega, revengeance basically? Like, do you feel like this could be the first one of like how everything? I don't know. Shut the fuck. I don't have a vocabulary. Revival. There we go. God damn it.
That was episode 9, Revengeance.
I was trying to keep it straight.
Resurrection. Oh. God, just ignore all that stupidity.
I already did.
Go ahead, though, man. Like, what do you feel, man?
No, I don't think it's gonna be a death in the Star Wars franchise because fucking 3 horrible movies didn't kill that bitch, and we had 2 that were just terrible back to back. And honestly, if that didn't kill it, I highly doubt just this would kill it. I think it's gonna piss off the fans. They're not gonna make them more hyped for the future movies. But me personally, just seeing the Rotten Tomato scores, I don't think it's gonna be one of those films that like Phantom Menace that people are like hyped up at the first half, and then a few weeks later they were like, "Oh, it was trash." I think a lot of people are probably either going to like it more in the next couple of weeks, or they're going to see it more for just a reference movie, and that's the one I'll go into a review. But honestly, man, I don't think it's going to be a death of the Star Wars franchise because they have a lot more plans within it, and I really want to see what more of the standalone films. Like honestly, me and Ali were talking about if they're going to do a fucking another trilogy, they got to do the Star Wars Old Republic. That's the one thing that's probably going to help them out a lot more because it does follow a different path than the Luke and Leia story, where it's more of a expansive galaxy, and the whole point is a grand adventure. It's almost maybe Lord of the Rings kind of epic within the Star Wars universe. Whereas, Star Wars follows the Star Wars motif of go here, defeat the bad guy, have a big result at the end. Whereas Old Republic, especially if you get certain endings, it doesn't really get solved at the end. There's a big leftover message of what happened to the certain main character and certain stuff like that. And only that, they have more of an ability to show off the Force and have more characters to work with, seeing how they have a lot more Sith and Jedis running around at the time.
I'm sorry. I love it. He just said the most important shit, and if I don't get to do that to Gandhi, where we just laugh at something in the chat while he's talking.
And I enjoyed it.
Oh, God, it's so great. But no, man, yeah, I guess Ganja doesn't agree with me. Shit. What else is fucking new? God damn it. But maybe, I'm going to try one more time. Allie. Do you feel like this is going to be the beginning of the Vogue Your Revengeance?
Sorry. Okay, honestly, if they don't get their act straight and they start doing, actually trying to take risks, I can see this as the down point.
Yeah, especially with the Han Solo thing. Or what's it called? Solo?
Solo, yeah.
Oh god, Dad, that stupid fucking movie title, man.
Yeah, I mean, no one's asking for a Han Solo movie. That was the wrong, especially after The Last Jedi. Now it's like people are not going to be excited for this Han Solo movie.
They really
don't,
man.
Yeah, no one's talking about it. Oh my god, Harley, get your butt out of my face.
That motherfucking twerk.
Damn.
Oh,
I mean, I'll talk about my main points for later on with the review, but yeah, I'm having doubts. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, me too. And that's why I feel like, this is going to be definitely what we're going to be seeing next. But no, people, we'll be moving on now. We're moving on to big and better things. Disney has finally bought 20th Century Fox. I told you it was going to happen. I done told you. Is it a good thing or bad thing, though? Al, I'm going to have you go first, actually, because I think you would have the most to say about this. Probably not, but hey, we'll see what happens, though. Do you give a shit? I know we talked about this before. Good thing or bad thing? Go ahead.
I feel like it could be possibly a bad thing. First off, now these movie studios are now turning into a monopoly, so that's not good. 20th Century Fox is a really major studio. So the fact that Disney bought them, I'm just I mean, it's cool that they'll have the rights to all Marvel films now. So, hey, now we'll see Fantastic Four with Spider-Man or, Iron Man. That's kind of cool. But I feel like Fox was going, their Marvel movies don't always work, but I feel like they really do take a lot of risks that Marvel, the Disney Marvel doesn't. I mean, they're starting to kind of branch out, but they're still in that, safe Marvel formula going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't. I don't know if the movies at Fox will be the same anymore after Deadpool.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm sorry. I know this will not be in the highlight video, but god damn it. What the fuck, y'all? Why? Dejan!
Hey, I started it. It wasn't Dijon. I kind of started this one. I'm just gonna sit back now and just enjoy the sounds of Nick Diaz laughing at my jokes and memes. Oh, hey Justin, how you doing?
How you doing, Justin?
So Justin, you ain't gonna talk to me? That's fucking rude, bitch.
Because he's disgusted by the gifts. Gifts.
Gifts.
I have Christmas too much in my brain because of my
The
freaking
plural
job.
of gifts is gifts.
Yeah.
Gifts.
Or
I
how
know.
90s would say is GIFs.
Oh, sorry, I fucked that up.
God damn it. I know, she's just like, yeah, I'm about to mind trick your fucking bitch ass right now, but goddamn.
No, she's about to kill my ass.
I know.
Like she force choke your ass.
There's Skype.
But yeah, Justin's in the house. By the way, check this out, bro. That's all for you, son.
Post that because of Ali's comment, and I said no, that would be stupid. And so thankfully someone else did it for me.
No, man. But as we're talking about this, though, I mean, we've talked about this before, probably to an exhaustive point. But I will say, like, and Alan, you actually told me this in the Google Docs, man. You said basically, like, yeah, Deadpool 2. God, why can't I say that?
Cool.
God, I always say it wrong. It's been months. Anyways, Deadpool 2.
Yes, there you go. You got it.
Yeah, no, they're keeping their R rating. Apparently Disney's
Yeah,
cool
apparently
with
because people were like, "Oh shit, is that gonna make the movie PG now?" Which would be fucking hilarious, by the way.
that. Or bad.
But no, apparently they are keeping it. No, dude, I think it'd be great if it was PG because then they could just do all the bleeping stuff. It would actually make the movie funny. But apparently people were wondering whether or not it's gonna stay R rating, and apparently they're gonna keep it that way. But because I guess it's so late into development, it'd be hard for them to change the whole fucking movie now. Because isn't it coming out next year sometime?
Yeah, and they know that people want to see Deadpool R-rated. It's not like they're going to go like, oh yeah, this movie they made $1 billion because it's R rating. We're just not going to do that. You know, they know where the money is in this case.
Yeah.
So would this be officially the first R-rated Disney movie?
Technically, no, because
Yeah.
Well,
they
no,
really-
under the Disney logo, because I know they have
Yes.
is it Touchstone or New Line? Well, they have one of those studios that they kind of let take the R-rated films that they support.
Well, that's a question then, because technically, I mean, Star Wars isn't under the Disney label. It's just Lucasfilm, even though it's owned by Disney. So, I mean, does that count when you have movies like that? Where is Deadpool going to be like that? Where there's no Disney?
No, it'll be Fox the logo, and then it'll be like the Disney logo, and then blood.
Put in that thing from The Simpsons where it's like Fox, a property of Disney. You know, just
I want that to be the logo for Fox forever now.
You know what? Then in that case, you got to put it back in front of Star Wars openings. Then, if we're gonna have the 21st Century Fox with the property logo, they got to do it in front of Star Wars.
By the way,
really good point that they actually could legally insert that into the beginning of these new films.
Yep.
You know? Yeah.
Really quick, I just looked this up by the way too. Apparently, and maybe you guys just said it, but I mean, if you did say it, then like this proves you're right. But Ruthless People, 1986, was Disney's first R-rated feature. Have you guys ever seen this or no?
What was the name of the movie?
Ruthless People. It's about Matt Williams from the Double Toast Community.
Yeah, that threw me off. I thought you said Ruthless sent you this. I'm like, oh, Ruthless sent you this.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
tell about the
definitely-
movie.
That's definitely an R-rated movie from the murder, the violence, and the sex and the drugs. Like, damn, that'd be a great film.
No, but like for real though, like has any of you guys seen this movie? Because I never even heard of this, so it's kind of crazy that its first the first Disney R-rated movie was something as simple as Ruthless People that no one's probably. I mean, I never heard of this before, but like Justin, have you seen this at all? Or? He's gone. He died.
He died. His internet committed suicide. He's like, I can't handle this bad Star Wars talk. Let
Yeah.
the Force be with me, and it just cut itself off.
Oh, poor guy. He's gonna get really salty
but-
later on. He's gonna be like, "Why I feel about Last
I
Jedi?"
One thing that's kind of gets to me about this deal, Nick, is like a lot of people are just talking about the entertainment value. And one of the things that I noticed was one meme going around where it shows like an army of like militant men with like Disney masks and like body armor, and they're beating like a bunch of protesters. And it just goes through this like log of history in the future. It goes like 2049, Disney acquires DC through violent means. 2050, U.S. government tries to stop Disney from seeing as most territories in the United States. 2100, Disney becomes a one world government. 2020, Disney goes into space, and then it gets like to 2500, and they built like a Dyson sphere and like a level 3 civilization, and it goes with the last one. It goes the year 3000. X-Men fans still wonder if they're gonna get a good movie.
Aw, you are a dick.
Yeah, that sounds about right, and they'll still not get a good movie.
No, but that goes into a deeper point. Like, that's a great fucking punchline to the end of that joke, but it makes sense. Like, everyone's worrying about their favorite product being shown, or like, oh man, X-Men's gonna come together with a Marvel. Yo, man, they're gonna have the Alien series. They're all thinking about just the entertainment, but no one's really looking at like, this is honest to God making Disney a monopoly. Like, they are becoming one of the biggest entertainment providers, and it's not through because their entertainment product is good, and it's mostly because of the Disney logo, but they're now using their assets to buy up most of the competition, which, shit, we went through the 1920s. We know that shit ain't good. And everyone complains about Hollywood being the same, and with, companies like Disney who don't really know for, like, going past the status quo to the point that their, hardcore family idea is now being pushed back because they want to still make money off of Deadpool too. And that is because they want to keep making money, and they care more about just making profit rather than the entertainment value. And I think a lot of these things you guys are complaining about, especially with the new Star Wars, of all these movies being similar, we're going to see more of that because that's what sells at the moment. And Monopoly is less likely to do more daring and, I guess, competitive and different stuff because they're more at risk of losing a shitload of money to their investors.
And I get 100% what you're saying, but at the end of it, it's like, the reason you want competition is because you want better product. It always just come back to the consumer, because if you have all this competition, the basis of it is that I'm gonna get something better, or they're gonna want my money more. But we've seen the competition with Marvel products for like the last 20 years, and it's like they haven't been that good. Like there's a handful of X-Men movies that anyone will actually say is any good. There's a handful of Fox, like Marvel stuff that anyone thinks is good. I think the reason people are looking past that is because they're like, well, Disney's been doing great the last like 12 fucking years. So it's like, okay, I'm actually gonna get something good with the X-Men. If this was fucking Warner Brothers buying Fox, people would burn down their fucking studio.
This is my problem. Like, everyone just cares about the entertainment value. Like,
But
yeah, man,
that's important though.
I'm gonna get a good fucking product, or I'm gonna get a better series. When they don't realize, like, you're saying all this stuff about the good stuff, and the directive is taken. When you look at Marvel, you say the last 20 years. If you just count the comic book stuff, which I really don't count, I count in their film studio, which is what they became later in the 90s and early 2000s. They basically brought back the Renaissance with the help of Sony and I think 21st Century Fox. With all the superhero movies, they were the ones that helped release Spider-Man, which brought it back. Blade was a Marvel product, which helped launch vampires back into the lexicon of the public. Like, they were already becoming one of those big studios. Now, they weren't like a big blockbuster yet until Iron Man came out with Robert Downey Jr., and then the Incredible Hulk started making more money. After everyone forgot the Ang Lee shit, but they're already on their track of being a great studio. This is kind of like the Pixar thing. Yeah, Pixar is great now, but they were already kind of on the track of being a great studio before they were acquired by Disney.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, but Pixar started with Disney in the first place. I don't think that really holds weight because their first released films were with Disney. So Pixar's never been not connected to them.
True, but I'm giving an example as when they were a separate entity, not like, doing small business deals, because everyone does crossover deals with each other to do sell and what is it called when you sell other product? Fuck, I'm blanking on it right
now. Contract workers, basically.
Yeah, it's not contract, but it's when companies allow others to sell it under their brand as long as there's a certain breakdown in the profit.
Yeah, it's licensing. I think that's
licensing. Thank you.
Yeah. But I get what you mean 100%, Ganja, but it's like I see so much of these Marvel products that are utter trash. Like, I don't care how anyone thinks of me after this statement, but I think Days of Future Past is a terrible fucking movie. Same thing with Apocalypse. And it's just like...
No, I agree, but...
Yeah, like, I honestly think X-Men First Class is one of my favorite ones, but it's just like, there's so many of these shitty fucking movies, and they keep releasing them. They wanted to do the fucking Channing Tatum, what was that guy with the cards, like shit like that. Like, they're killing all this competition is actually killing people wanting to see these fucking movies. And it's like, yes, having them all under one banner might have a situation where all the same, but you also might have situations where you have really, really good fucking products coming out of them.
That's where I disagree. We're already seeing the example of all these movies being Disney-fied to the point that everything looks the same as the other product. Like how many times has Nick complained about Marvel products constantly borrowing from each other, and then we find out that it's almost the same writers being cycled through the same products. Like it's already trying to show that having all these entertainment products under one banner when they're just trying to keep it under one set of rules is not entertainment. Like the only thing that was entertainment was The Punisher because it really went out of the boundaries and they let it run, but how long before they bring in some of that stuff because it wasn't getting such a big review or it was a hit?
How many shitty Fox X-Men, Deadpool, all that kind of stuff? Like Deadpool was an anomaly. It was an anomaly of the time because of what was happening with Super and stuff. But like, how many shitty X-Men? How many shitty Fox Marvel movies that I can't remember because they suck so much? The Fantastic Four.
I disagree.
About 3 times. They're almost.
I disagree though. Like when you talk about the Deadpool thing, that was more hyped up by the fans themselves after they were screwed out of Origins. And not only that, you have Ryan Reynolds, who was basically trying to keep the project alive for almost 3-4 years, constantly hyping up the
an anomaly that it happened the way it did.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about everything. Like Spider-Man was an anomaly when it came out to a certain degree. Like
it was always popular, dude. Spider-Man's up there with Batman and Superman.
Yeah, but we were also coming off of the fucking low of Batman and Robin. Like there was a low in superhero films until that popped off.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that there's a lot of like bad stuff. We're forgetting that they made 3 separate Fantastic Four movies that all sucked.
Yep.
They're going for I want them to make a 4th one just to have the trifecta of they can never make a good one of these fucking movies. Like I get what you mean that having all these under one banner is a bad idea, but having the competition isn't any fucking better.
That's where I disagree. I think the problem is we have. Okay, Justin, we've been talking this whole time.
Yeah.
The problem is that there are both valid arguments to be made on both sides of the issue here. You know, with both of you guys, that yes, there's the issue that it could be stifling competition because that's the whole reason we broke up the studio system back in the 40s and the 50s. You know, because there was that vertical integration where they had a monopoly where no one else could compete against the big 5. On the other hand, this isn't that same generation. We do have lots of avenues now for people to make movies. That Disney is not like the only company to ever produce a movie. Yes, Fox gave up, you know, an untold amount of properties to Disney. Like when I look through the list of everything that Disney owns, including Die Hard and Alien and Predator and everything else in between, you know, that's insane. That's insane. The library is like quite. I don't know Terminator. I think that's technically Universal, isn't it? But
yeah, I think so. It's Universal.
Okay. Yeah, they own Avatar though. But even on that point, just saying like it's still the thing is like it's not like Disney has a stranglehold on everything because there's still Sony, there's still Universal, there's still Paramount, there's still Warner Brothers. You know, it's not like we're not getting the competition. It's just that we've now eliminated one of the players. You know, Game of Thrones style, essentially. You know, they jacked Starks, eviscerated them.
That's how Baratheon died, man. We took some of his people, we stole them, man, and we just surrounded them and killed them.
So I wonder who's the Gendry in this situation. That one lone Fox property that's just.
Yeah, it's what was it? Gotham. They don't own Gotham.
The one thing though is like you guys talking about like, oh man, we're not gonna have competition, which hey, I'm scared of too. I mean, once they get WB, they're gonna be like, oh fuck no, and the whole thing. But the thing is, 20th Century Fox, that was not considered competition. Like, I'm sorry, but it was not. I mean, the fact that they're even able to hand over Spider-Man, I was like, dude, yeah.
That's Sony.
That's Sony.
Oh, that's Sony? Okay, well then shit. Well, you know what? Well, shit, buy Sony next. Like,
okay, all joking aside, I think they should have bought Sony instead of Fox. Because not only do you get Spider-Man back, you get to get rid of their fucking animation studio, which has released nothing but garbage, and you also get a game studio underneath your belt that's been releasing basically critical and commercial successes since they started.
Sony's on the come up.
That's on its own. They have all their other technology with their their TVs, their computers, their music systems and stuff. They're too big an entity.
Which are all failing.
Well, but that's the thing. It's like they're still big enough where it'd be hard to justify the purchase. Where Fox, they willingly gave it up. Pretty much. They're just like, yeah, we just want to do our news and our sports. So whoever wants it.
Man, I'm mad about that. Like, I think this is the last thing, but like, I'm mad they didn't buy Fox News. I would have laughed my ass off to see Disney Fox News, man.
And today, Donald Trump is the greatest goddamn thing that ever happened.
The Mexicans trying to invade the United States.
I'm actually waiting for Allie to do it because I know that her voice, she would do it like perfect.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
On the ground with Goofy.
I'll provide for you, Disney.
Looks like it's alright.
Oh Lord.
God damn, man. No, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I mean, we talked about this to nauseum for the last fucking. I don't know.
Ooh, speaking of talking about a topic to nauseum, I see what's coming up.
Oh, okay, yeah,
There you
that's
go.
the thing. I'm scared.
Speaking of monopolies, Alan.
And we're not gonna be able to pass go, and we're not gonna be able to collect $200.
Specifically talking about Disney, not this bullshit we're about to talk about.
Oh yeah, like Disney didn't use its power to stop us from getting Mickey Mouse like a couple of years ago from the public domain, right?
Hey, I'm still glad
I
about that, man.
digress.
I'm still glad about that. I'll say that right now.
Bitch.
So can we just right now? I know Agit Pai is an asshole. Okay, we all know this. The guy's a
What's his
douchebag.
name? Agit Pai?
Yeah, I thought it was Agent Pai. I was like, oh my god, he's an agent. That son of a bitch. Like, but the
Man,
thing is.
that's code name. You just got the little swish in the lines.
Exactly. We like Hitman, except the shit man. But the thing is, though, this guy, I know that was bad. I know it was bad. Don't have to make
I
that
laughed.
face. God damn.
You're
Because
bad
you like
for
bad things.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I love you, dude. I appreciate you laughing at my shit, but it was shit. Anyways, either way, Agent Pai, he's a douchebag. We all know this. But can we just take a minute to say fuck you to the dumb shits who are actually believing that what he has planned in his fucking stupid little peanut head, that shit is actually a good fucking idea? Because for me, I understand that's going to help certain people. It's going to make things awesome for certain types of people. But people like me, people like Corey Coleman, shit like that, we are fucked. We are so fucked. And I'm just like, why, oh why did this work? Like, I am very, very curious. Like, why?
3-2 vote.
Yeah, 3-2, but it shouldn't even be it should be like Agent Pi versus 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, like, I mean, I don't even know how to even discuss this because it's just so fucking stupid. Ganja, like, you're watching the live stream too. By the way, there was a bomb threat too. We're watching that shit. I was actually hoping someone was gonna fucking explode this one. Like,
Man, all right. I'm a kind of a little radical. You guys know this. Like when we talk about politics and shit, Justin laughs about it all the time. But like, people throwing bombs at a fucking FCC meeting, y'all fucking crazy. That ain't gonna solve no problem. If anything, that's gonna get the internet locked up 10 times worse. You idiots.
Yeah.
yeah.
If anything, if y'all really want to make a move, just go in there and protest. Put your freedom at risk, like everybody else who wants to actually save shit. Like, I'm tired of these fucking text message, Facebook protesting people who just want to just send messages to the governor and not actually go out there and do anything. Like, I understand, like, you want to do the simplest thing, but like threatening people's body and their health and well-being. Like, for example, there was a bomb threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two people voted for our side, right? If there was an actual bomb, you would have killed 2 of those people that are on our side, and you would have turned everybody else against us who wasn't on the fence. Like, you gotta think these through up. Like, it's not right. But besides that, man, between motherfucker who said he was doing that for our American rights and freedom, and an American Eagle appeared behind him, and the other guy who just basically turned it into his Laugh Factory 30 minutes of stand-up, man, this was a great hearing, yo.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing, too. That video that he made afterwards where he's like, you guys could still be able to do your stupid little memes. He does a Harlem Shake. Like, motherfucker, that wasn't a thing for 2 years now. Like,
He's got a fucking one of those
Super
dart
soakers?
guns, fidget spinner with glasses on.
Man, I saw that. My first thought is, what fucking time period do you think you're in that you're gonna sell kids with fucking Nerf guns and fidget spinners?
no, but, like, the people that were around him doing that Harlem Shake thing at the end, and they're all dancing, and it's, like, the most... I'm sorry. I feel bad saying this now that Justin's in here. But the whitest fucking conservative fucking people, like, I swear to God, I was like,
Funny
watching
thing is, he's Indian.
Yeah.
I just like everyone's associated with like everything like white conservative politics, but he's not white either.
Exactly.
Alan, how does it feel?
Man, I don't say a word right now, man.
I saw him drink that water and just look up like, don't notice me. I was like, boom, I see you.
God, if you actually play this bad people in the archive, you can all look at our eyes. We all looked at, well, not mine because I'm a cartoon, but we all looked at Alan.
The best part, Alan just started drinking the water and looking everywhere but in front of us.
Yeah, just like, fuck you guys,
That
bro.
got brought up on me, man.
No, the guy's literally trolling. The thing is, like, Ganja, do you feel like that probably helped us out a little bit? That he did some immature ass shit?
Yeah, but it's something like I think this was the first time I could say that almost 80% of the U.S. population, both left and right, disagree with this decision. Like, this was 100% just people who want to profit off the internet, who are mad that net neutrality kind of kept them from doing that to a certain degree, with kind of keeping the megabits and keeping the fast lanes from being happening. Because you see this with other countries where they have pulled it off, and their internet is shitty quality, and they pay 10 times more. for what they get, and then you have other countries who basically made it a utility, and they have the fastest speeds and the fastest megabyte download, and they pay almost half of what we pay.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking ridiculous, man. Even South Korea has like these ridiculous speeds for the cheapest of prices. I'm like, aren't they not a great country as far as
North
like
Korea.
financials? Wait, who?
Korea.
Well,
No, South.
Yeah, it was South. South was the most actually.
yeah. No, and also it doesn't help that Agit Pai, he did work as a Verizon lawyer before he was the FCC commissioner, so that doesn't help his case at all. Just like, well, we kind of know whose side his bread is buttered on, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. No, it's just crazy to me, man. And like, I mean, I don't even know what happened towards the end of this because I know like '90s, one of the guys who actually used to be doing my job. I mean, the '90s was the greatest. And he's still alive, y'all. So if you guys are wondering, he's safe. But '90s is basically saying like, yeah, this ain't over yet. You know, ain't over till the fat lady sings and the fat lady's eating. So I mean,
Well,
but
it's basically saying that there's still avenues for you to talk to your congressman, bother the fuck out of them. There are avenues all over the internet if you just search up how to fight with this thing. Because apparently now there's a further legal battle to make sure. Because right now they've gone to the point where they did the decision, but then it has to also get passed like through the courts. And I think that's where you can also fight. So it's like I don't know exactly how to do it, but if you look it up, you'll find tons of people are posting links, are posting ways to actually contact the people you want to contact in order to actually get this repealed.
Well, and I think also it's the idea that the effects of this don't actually come into effect just yet. Like there's, along with this legal stuff, it would be another few months down the road before we start to see any actual outcome from this decision. So
It's
if it gets stopped,
unclear how the changes are going to actually happen.
well, it's some weird thing where like, yeah, they have to make some deal with the ISPs and the providers and that stuff. And it's beyond my understanding either, and I think it's beyond most other people's understanding. That's why, what was that joke John Oliver was making? The idea that, the reason why no one's getting involved is it's so freaking complex to get involved with this stuff. No one cares, and everyone gets bored halfway reading it,
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, man, but it is frustrating. I feel like Ganj, I was gonna ask you too, like, do you feel like this is gonna go to Supreme Court? Do you feel like this is really like official now? I mean, are we fucked?
All right, the Supreme Court right now is iffy because I think recently he appointed a really hardcore conservative on there who's known to be one of those guys that kind of stands by corporations and big businesses. So if it goes to the Supreme Court right now, honestly, guys, you're just gonna see a bigger margin of that 3-2 vote. Honestly, right now, the proper way to handle it is in the lower courts through Congress, the Senate, because right now you already have a bunch of politicians who are already signing up on both sides of the aisles that are trying to put a stop to this before it becomes law. And I think if we just encourage that, don't get into this like left versus right bullshit, and just focus on net neutralities for everybody, it helps everybody in the long run. Because no matter who's in power, they can easily censor leftist stuff and they can censor right stuff when it comes to this stuff, especially, when you got corporations that do that to a certain degree already.
Yeah, no, and I don't know, man. I'm looking over here in the chat. The one thing I said too, we had a big argument about this in the Google Hangouts, but yeah, I feel like
Buster is never coming back,
Man, I would watch that number.
No, because the thing is too is like we were talking about this because I was like, this is gonna be good for a lot of people. Like for instance, people who are into double toasted, like they're gonna get a lot more content on YouTube because Corey will not be able to like do shit on his site anymore. And people, I won't be making a bunch of money editing, But the main thing is physical media. People are not gonna want to download games anymore. I feel like to spend an extra $50 because you surpass your fucking bandwidth allocation at the end of the fucking month, you're not gonna want to spend 60 gigs on downloading a game that you're gonna be like, oh. That's alright.
And this is why I feel vindicated collecting physical media.
Despite the fact that I got a question. Do you guys not have unlimited data plans in the States?
No. Like mine, if I go over 200 gigabytes.
It depends on the company. Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah, because I guess Ali's the only one here. Because I know in Canada that's kind of a common thing. You just be like, I just want unlimited. You pay a certain amount a month. It's a little bit more than a regular plan. But for me, like I have unlimited. I could download a terabyte a month if I felt like it.
Yeah, and like for me, I can't. I can't have more than 200 gigabytes. And the thing that's scary for me is that because work, converting 20 gigabyte files back and forth to Corey Coleman and everything for the double toasted videos, I hit my max and have to spend an extra $50 a month on just redoing my whole bandwidth allocation every month. So like net neutrality, guys are like, oh no, it's gone, motherfucker. It was never there for me. Like I've been fucked. Consistently fucked.
It's been a big argument with a lot of people who want to make the internet like me, who believe that it should be a utility at this point. from how many people use it, how much is it important for businesses, how much is important for small media. That basically it's become almost a road to a certain degree, how people use it to get business across state lines, how to get like certain amount a niche customer. And even like if you get outside of YouTube videos, there's companies now that spell specialized search for either t-shirt companies or there's certain sports companies, and they are making a living because the internet allows them free access, free speeds of equal standing with people like Amazon and Walmart. And I feel like right now you're just putting a toll booth on the internet like they did to the highway system, which is hurting people right now as we speak. And that's why I believe this should be a utility at this point. I think with net neutrality laws, it showed that everyone was willing to leave the internet open, accessible, and it was basically showing that they were willing to treat it like utility. And instead of us going further with that idea, now we've kind of gone heavily back to it and treating it as a product more than a utility that it's actually for. Because now jobs, if you don't have the internet, you can hardly get a job at this point. Some places only email you your fucking resume.
No, true.
I'm part of this activism group that tries to help homeless people. And one of the things we have a problem is if they don't have a stable address, unless they can get to a public library to get a computer, they can't get a job or a place to get a callback from.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with schools nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went to high school, it was completely digital. They had us bring in computers every day too, email our teachers, our homework, everything was online. So that's just going to be tough for people as well.
Think about the competition. Like you have Google that's been trying their hardest to become a internet provider. They're trying to be what Comcast and Verizon does, but because they didn't start off in the 1970s and 80s making the basic cables, they're just starting up from the ground up. And I think this is going to take a hit from them, especially at the way if it keeps going the way it is now. They're going to take a hit from this because they're going to have more monopoly power to stop people who are going to either build infrastructure or a new streaming service. For example, YouTube is owned by Google now. Now, people say, oh, Google's not going to take advantage of the new laws. That's bullshit. Every company takes advantage of the laws until they change. I don't believe that shit for 1 second. And when it comes to like new streaming services that might be more open, might be less stringent with their advertisement, they're going to get killed and choked because they're not going to have the access to the same speeds that help YouTube be brought up. So if anything, it's a lot of these big internet companies that are either against it or supporting it. They don't. If they're against it, they're against it on the moral ground. But as soon as it happens, you're going to see them start taking advantage of the law so they can make more income. And that just tends how to work with these things unless they're utility.
Now, for me, just because I'm immature as fuck, and I'm like, oh yeah, jobs, blah, blah, who cares, I'll pass through that. Money, entertainment, yay! And I'm like, this is going to kill Netflix in a way. Because people binging shit is going to be a pain in the ass now, too, because you got to make sure to watch how much you're going to binge, etc. But the biggest thing, though, is my Blockbuster. I wasn't showing that just so we go, ha, 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 and the whole thing with we coming back, Ninja, the Blockbuster thing. I brought that up because, motherfucker, that's for real. Blockbuster will come back. I'm sorry, dude. There'll be a reason to go rent a fucking movie. To pick up a DVD and go, or a Blu-ray and go like, wow, that's some badass art. I fucking love that cover art. You know what? I'm going to buy this based on how much work they put into the actual fucking design and the creativity behind it. Like, I miss those days.
Yeah, with all the legal troubles that Redbox is facing right now, that could be possible.
I doubt it. Like, we're going to still have the continuing physical media. We're never going back to the old ways, man. Like, short of the fucking internet just falling apart tomorrow through a giant explosion, and we have to back everything up through physical means, as long as there's a digital platform, no matter how inconvenient, it's still going to be there. It's
not only that, it's going to be to a point that they're going to know that video game companies have now built their infrastructure and their amount of data plan to get you those games downloaded through the Sony PlayStation Store, the Xbox Live Store, the Steam Store. They've invested in this infrastructure, and these companies are already multi-billion-dollar companies, so they can survive this wave. We're not going to lose Steam. They're fine, y'all. The problem is with those little companies like Humble Bundle, like you like to use, Alan, they're going to start getting taxed harder. The other little ones that give you guys deals for your special codes that they're actually trying to come up, they're going to get fucked. And what's going to happen is you're not going to see a retreat to physical media. You're going to see these game companies go harder on the digital copies because now they can make extra income. And since there's only 3 or 4 internet providers, it's a lot easier for them to get a monopolistic deal through than for them to go, well, fuck that FCC, man. We're going to make physical copies and bring back disc and box art. They're not going to go that because it was unprofitable at a point, and now there's going to be more profits in actually selling you digital media, especially on the hands if they work with the internet providers. There's just more money to come around, and there's more money to screw you out of. Like, there's no reason to go back, and because they're going to lose money in the end.
The reason physical copies stopped being a thing wasn't because people got bored of physical stuff. Was because distribution cost so much. Like the reason GameStop is failing, the reason companies like Ubisoft, Activision, EA, all those people said we're gonna start doing digital is because they no longer have to pay distributors to distribute the physical copies, because that took like them sending it out took like almost like 2/3 to half their margin was just producing the physical copies and shipping them out so that they could be sold at GameStops and places around there. That's why they went to digital, so they can actually get 100% of their product.
Yeah, it's eliminated middlemen, so
yeah,
all companies do it.
But it sucks, people. But I think we'll all survive. I feel like if you guys are willing to just cough up a little bit of extra money on certain things and
Some
hold
people
back,
don't have the extra money. That's the problem.
But that's the thing. Like that extra money, it's like. Then don't. The internet's holding you back. Then, like, you know what I mean? Like, go get a job. You know what I mean?
Like we just explained, you need the internet to get a job today.
Yeah, but like if you, okay, for one, here's the thing. I know that's a thing in applications and shit like that. But if you can't get that particular job because of the online thing, then go get one that you don't need. That fucking like, dude, there's people always say that like, oh man, it's hard getting hired, and oh this is hard and that's hard. No, if you fucking apply yourself, you can do it.
Classified ads are going to come back in a big way. That's pretty much.
No, the jobs you're talking about, they're not going to make the income you're thinking of. Like you're thinking of lawn work, construction, like service jobs that don't pay you shit. Like some people probably already have like a good income job, and as soon as they get raised on their internet bill, that's it. They got to cut the cord and they can't email their boss.
But the thing is, they can still do an application by going online and having a slow lane fucking pay program with the computer. So
yeah,
there's still libraries
that they're paying for it. Still, they're paying more for something they got free originally.
See, are we sure that's really what's going to be happening? Because I feel like what's going to be happening is going to slow down.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be like a priority. It's like anyone here has ever played a fucking EA game? You have premium versus non-premium.
Yeah.
Non-premium members are treated like second-class citizens, like a MMO. When you have like the free service versus the paid service. When you have a free service, you have a level cap. You can only do so much of the character. Progression and XP takes longer. But if you pay the $10 a month or $15 a month, you get everything right away. You don't have to do anything. It's like a free-to-play game on your mobile. If you play it normally, it takes forever to grow anything. But if you start paying and paying and paying, everything happens faster. That's what a lot of people like. That's what seems to be happening with what net neutrality is dying is actually going to be. It's going to make the internet a free-to-play game.
And not only that, you're not having an assumption because there's a lot of companies that these companies either have a multinational company that they're either a subsidy of or they're a partner of or they even own half of it. And they've done it in other countries that don't have strong net neutrality laws where you will see them have caps on megabits per second, the caps on how much you can download, what your sites you can go to. Like it's more than just entertainment value, but not a lot of people just see it as entertainment value because honestly, that's a lot of people get out of there is just have videos and stuff like that. But that's not what they think of. It's become like a infrastructure. Like everyone thinks they can go drive into the beach, drive to Disneyland, drive to New York. But originally that's just there so services and goods can get there faster to other places and we can have a thriving economy. And that's basically what the internet turned into. And by doing this, they're putting toll booths on the road for certain companies to get faster access. And not only that, some of these companies have done that and targeted certain political movements, like either on the right or the left. So they even use it as a political tool. I remember there was a Verizon either had a live stream of Pearl Jam, and they came out against something that was like monopolistic, and they cut their live stream because they had the legal right to do that before net neutrality laws. And now, because net neutrality laws are gone, they can do that again.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. It sucks. I don't know what to say in the sense other than, like, yeah, it's obviously bad. Yes, people like me are going to be affected. But no, it's not the end of the internet. You're not going to die. Just we've had so many years, and yes, like
more difficult.
Yeah, it'll just be more difficult. But y'all handle it. I know people are like, oh no, God, we need to do a bomb threat. We need to do all this shit. By the way, too, another thing too, I've actually
take it to the extreme.
No, but like another thing too, like I actually tried to send a text. I typed in battle. And send it to the fucking, the FCC or whatever the fuck. And literally they try to charge me like $3 just to fucking send it. So I paid the $3. They try to send me or charge me another $5 to send it to somewhere else. And I was like, okay. In total, that's $8 on failing to make a fucking difference. I'm good. That's where I
why
tap out.
don't you just use Google to find out who's your congressperson in your state?
No, I know that too.
Why don't you email or call them and tell them your concerns?
Yeah, which I will do that as well. But the thing is like, you see how some people will, like, they'll have a thing at the bottom of an FCC thing, or they'll have those big, like on Facebook, you see those big bulletin things like spread around, like, hey, type this in, text this, do this, whatever the fuck. And everyone's so divided in their own ways of doing shit that's not going into one fucking funnel to the right people, to the right person, to the person that will actually make a fucking difference, or the people that make a right difference. Instead, we're all just fucking you know, chickens with their heads cut off, fucking like, oh, we just don't like it, you know, flapping their fucking wings and nothing's getting done. It's like, that's the type of shit that I'm like, yeah, you know, this is not gonna work because, for one, just everyone's trying to like, it's just like when fucking Senate Massacre and that guy with the glasses and Channel Awesome, everybody got together and did that fucking anti-FCC thing. I forgot what it was too, but this happened like last year. And they even did like a whole like get together thing too, like a party, you know, like discussing it and celebrating just to fight towards this shit. And nothing got done. It was just like people just kind of like jerking each other off. Like, yes, I hate this too, man. Isn't that right? High five. And then everyone just goes back to their fucking computers and goes back to all the unlimited porn that they have, and no one gives a shit. And it's like, you know what? It's too late, y'all. You fucked up.
That's what my biggest complaint, Nick, is a lot of these people want to go out and do something about it, but when they really go out to try to be active and shit, they just go for the most easiest thing. Armchair protest is what I call them. They want to send a comment. They just donate $5 to it, or they just send a text message, or they share it on Facebook and think that's going to change something. Nah, guys, like, you need to be out in the streets, organize and protest. That's the only way to get these things changed.
And the person that Ganja is defining right now, or basically like, you know, describing to you, is me. I'm that person. And it's like, I haven't done any kind of walking around. I didn't even know about Agit Pai until he was a fucking topic that we had to bring up on the show. Like, I didn't know. But I didn't know because nobody else knew either. It's a problem when you barely hear about this fucking dude a week before today. And it's
well,
like, that's not good.
That's not a problem for you, Nick, because the thing is, we're a democracy and a representative democracy. And just you agree with me when I say this. We're not, like, us as regular civilians aren't supposed to worry about politics 100%. That's why we're supposed to vote the best people that are representative of us, who are going to deal with this 24/7 and be there to answer all this stuff. The problem is, right now, we're not voting the best people on both sides, and they're fucking us.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't see anything. I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. I think it's just a problem too, though, that we've created such an intricate web of politics that even if we do vote the right people, they're going to be under the thumb of other people who are even more in power than they are. You know, it's just there's a lot of interest, a lot of complicated factors in this, and I certainly don't have the answer because I barely try to focus on the news anyway. So like,
yeah, it's depressing.
Well, and you know, and it's funny too because like you're talking about Nick, like the people like doom and gloom. It's hard not to freak out about this when you see people like CNN just going like the end of the internet as we know it. Like,
well, they live on that sensational bullshit. So
yeah, seriously, yes.
So yeah, and I mean, I'm telling you, if people can spend extra money on fucking, I need my yearly PSN membership so I can fucking play with my friends and go, ew, I shot you with my fake virtual gun. If you have enough money to spend $60 a year on that shit, stop bitching about the fucking internet. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, yell at people. Take it away so you can teach them a lesson, and make them pay for it so you can teach them a lesson.
Well, I'm not even doing that to do. You know, I'm not even saying that.
If you really cared about it, you wouldn't have made sure that this thing is secured and wouldn't get to this point. But a lot of people don't really care when it comes to how politicized we are. Like, they don't look at the big picture.
Yeah, like this is a problem. Yet Netflix, I remember in 2011, the shit was $6.99. It's like $12.99 now, and I'm like, no one ever complained. You know, it's like, you know, people don't have enough money, etc., but yet they have enough money to fucking binge shit they don't even fucking like because they don't got nothing to fucking do. Go get a fucking job. Like, I can't, it drives me up the fucking wall. Like, you know, like, I mean, even me, people, like, I'll say this, I'll put myself on blast. I make a shit ton of money editing on the internet. Like, there's something wrong with that. Like, you know, like, I'm doing nothing for this fucking state.
The thing, like I think me and Nick, we actually had this conversation a couple days ago. Whereas, as entertainers, if you want to be honest, we don't really produce anything for the greater of society. Like, we entertain you guys, give you people to hang out, but like when you look at the grand scheme of things, we're not really producing anything. So the fact that a lot of these people are making millions of dollars, basically just producing laughs and giggles, it shows that people are just looking. A lot of people are just looking for distractions from their modern day life.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring this up without making a joke about him or anything, but like the shit that Alan is into, Star Citizen. Someone gave that gave that company $25,000 that they still haven't refunded the dude. And I'm like, people can actually spend $25,000 on just hoping that their fucking game gets made, which, let's just say, best case scenario, they use that money right away and it makes a beautiful fucking game. Okay, so you get to play a good game. Play fucking Zelda. It's already out and it cost you nothing. Why would you $25,000 sent to somebody else and needs it?
Like, we agree, Nick, that the problem is that, like, we spend too much on entertainment that should be made just for the simple fact of either supporting the company and keeping them afloat. You have a lot of companies that are just trying to make a shitload of extra cash on them so they please their stockholders, to the point that the entertainment has become the same. So it's just become a thing where we're just putting money into the same system over and over again, and now that people are losing access to entertainment, like they're reacting the way they should react, where they're getting mad at it because now they're getting losing access to the general public has, when they should be more focused on important stuff. Like me and Nick had a conversation about how much Batman versus Superman made, almost over $1 billion. When you add like, I think it's $1.1 billion or $2 billion at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you go maybe like $2 more billion, you solve world hunger. But the thing is, people won't put their money power towards that because it doesn't entertain them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like Dejan said, like, have to have an education to earn a skill, Nick. And like, I totally agree, man. Like, I suffer from that too. I had to do like, you know, I had to scrap metal. Basically how Ganja puts it, I steal air conditioners to make money on the side, and then I edit 2 dudes talking about movies. You know, but
I mean, even me, I'm just saying too. Like, that's one reason I still stay in school and hoping to get a PhD degree. Just like, yeah, it's extra work, it's extra money, but at least I can be able to ensure some marketable skill that can help me to get a good career in the future. I mean, he was hoping. Fingers, but yeah,
exactly. And then, man, I love this too. Chris Brown says it perfectly. He's like, yo, in all honesty, I'm always surprised that people buy a $60 game then spend more money on the game after they buy it. It's like, if people even complain about that, it's like, you bought a $60 game in the first place. It's a game. You know how, like, dude, $60 can feed me for 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Complain the loudest are the ones who are not in the interest of the company to listen to. Where it's like, yeah, you guys complain about paying for DLC, but all these shows over here who will pay for our ridiculous gambling schemes with loot crates and that stuff, they're the people we like. You know? That's
I like how Chris Brown kind of called us off. MCA needs to start working on a cure for cancer.
Wait, do you say candy, sir? It sounds like you said candy, sir.
Candy, sir. It's a candy form of cancer. It's delicious sugar.
But yeah, and wait, Tay says she bought the free DLC from Persona 5.
Yeah, girl, I thought I was the only one that bought free shit.
Girl, what the fuck? How'd you do that shit?
I'll give you $5.
Hey, Nick, in her defense, it wasn't on the base game.
Okay, it wasn't. All right. Oh wait, no, that was a joke.
That was the joke.
Okay.
I keep saying it wasn't on my computer. There we go.
All right. Well, with bad shit like that, let's just. Sounds like a perfect time for. Let me find that shit. Oh, let's flex and chill. Oh my goodness, look at Woo! Yay! I like how.
Let's flex and chill is pretty much gonna be this. Ali, ready to join me? Dun, dun,
Oh man, that's wonderful. Anyways, guys, well, that was fun, and now we're over. No, I'm just joking. But no, people know we are here. We are chilling. We're gonna do our thing. Well, I'm not gonna do shit. This is all Ganja Guru, and it's all Allie, and it's all Justin in a sense too. Alan's gone. He left. He's a pussy. But
on this too if she wants to join. So, but
oh yeah, I'll give Adrian a link and everything too. But yeah, like to start the shit off, Ganja, you said you had a couple of things to say, and I don't know if we can say them too because of spoiler type of shit going on or whatever the fuck. But when you first got into the movie, were you at least hyped when you first started watching the fucking thing or no?
I'm a Star Wars fan. Fuck yeah, I was hyped, man. Me and Ali always have Star Wars conversations. We always talk about like Legends or expanding universe stuff. Hell, there's been plenty of times in the fucking after hours we all had conversated about Star Wars. Ruthless, we talked about the politics of Star Wars. That was hilarious. But when I was excited for the movie because I thought they left it off on a good cliffhanger, that I wanted to see what a lot of these characters had developed and what they're going to do within the 2 years that we waited for the next film. And wow, all right, I'm torn. All right, a part of me really loved it because it was Star Wars. And it was all the stuff that I appreciate from Star Wars growing up and in my childhood. But then again, one thing that happened to me during this movie, Nick, and I'm very sad that it's happening to me now as I'm getting older. I'm realizing a lot of movies are the fucking same. And I'm noticing a lot of movies borrow from each other directly. And this one was just so obvious with it. I won't go into the certain scenes because that is spoilers. But when you see them, it's like, God damn, they just ripped that out of the script from pick a number of the movie. And it pulls you out, and it makes you realize that they're just trying to tickle your nostalgia factor. And I didn't go to see Player Ready 1. I went to go see the next evolution of the Star Wars film.
Well, yeah, you didn't go see that because it's called Ready Player 1. So
man, and I wasn't there to go see a cutesy fucking porg get shoved in my face every goddamn scene. At least the Ewoks were fucking useful, guys. The porgs are there for Chewbacca to eat. And that is not even a joke. That's not a spoiler because y'all gonna get mad at that scene just like I did. Anyway,
to be fair, the porgs are in like 5 scenes and they're barely in the movie.
Yeah,
so
but when they show up, they go porg. Buy for Christmas.
And with that said, too, Justin, and me watching episode 2 and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, Jar Jar Binks was not in a whole lot of scenes either, man. Like when he's on for like 10 seconds.
In episode 1.
Yeah, especially in episode 3 too. I actually forgot he was in that fucking movie. And Allie, we talked about this too, dude. Like Jar Jar Binks, for someone who's always everyone's talking shit about Jar Jar Binks like 100 fucking minutes per minute, like just or 100 minutes per minute, 100 times per minute talking shit about Jar Jar Binks, and yet for some fucking reason he's barely in like 2 and 3, and then in the first one like he's really not all that bad, and when he is on, like let me just pretend that he is the worst fucking thing ever. Maybe 8 scenes. I'm serious. It's not that bad. But Allie, like, what do you feel about the
It for a while in the first one.
Nick, I would try to defend you, but we just rewatched this for a movie night last week.
Mm-hmm.
No, Jar Jar's in that movie a whole bunch, and he's just as annoying as we thought.
He's in it throughout, pretty much.
Okay, well, in comparison-wise, is he as bad as the Porgs?
Dialogue, y'all. The Porgs don't even fucking talk. They just make sounds.
Allie's like, I feel like she's dying to live inside. Like, I mean, what's your rebuttal to what Ganja just said?
Okay, I think the Porgs are completely useless, and there was no point in bringing them. And then also, Ganja, you remember that we were talking about this, the evil BB-8?
Yeah.
That they hyped up so much, and in the movie, he literally has one scene, and that's it.
He looks because you see him one more time.
1.5.
Well,
Not even a scene, like half scene. Like it's the most.
He gives one menacing look.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just like, y'all, really, really, y'all stretching.
Okay, but an evil BB-8, would you even want to see that? Like now I'm getting confused. You're telling me towards the movie now because I'm like, why would you want to see that?
No, I'm not selling you because the thing's barely in the movie. Like it's basically like a non-character. Like, it really, dude. What's so funny is that I was at my store. I was working at my store, and this couple, they were checking out and they're asking where's the nearest movie theater, and I told them where, and like, oh, what are you guys gonna see? I had a feeling they were gonna say Star Wars, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, I saw it the other day. Oh, what did you think of it? It was good. Like, I had to like hype myself up a little bit more to make them more excited, like, because it isn't a terrible movie. Don't get me wrong. It's not even like a bad movie or anything like that. It's good. It's good, but it's just good. It's not great. It has some great stuff in it,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the thing. I've expressed this that Disney buying out Lucasfilm was probably a mistake. I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Rebels is great. I love Rebels. I think that's one of the great things they have going for them. But everything else, like the Battlefront games, people hate those. Force Awakens was good, but again, a rehash of Episode 4, which I know, Nick, you like, but not everyone likes to see a movie they already watched several years ago. And it just feels very, like, there's some inspiring things, but there's other stuff that's just like, okay, this is pretty obvious that you're bringing this down to child level just for the sake of selling more tickets and not thinking first about a well-rounded story and that everything fits into place, because like the humor is just, it's funny, but it's out of place.
Mm-hmm.
More so than The Force Awakens. It's just like the whole movie halts just to have a joke that they make it, and it doesn't even like go back to the joke or anything. They're just making a joke right then and there, and there's no like long stretch joke, like like a football game where it's like a field goal.
Yeah,
like there's nothing. It's just like a joke. Okay.
Well, they're all throw away.
That's
Nothing
it.
earns its humor. Nothing earns its comedy. Basically, is what
Nothing
you're
earns it. It's not earned. It's just like Joss Whedon humor, which is funny, but it's just like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, this is dire. This is fucking Star Wars. Like, okay, like I can take away from the fact that I don't give a shit about this, but this universe is not debatably big or small, whatever. Like, no, it's big. It's like, this is huge. So when something like this is happening, and you have like Death Star to Death Star and all these fucking movies in this franchise blowing up and all this crazy shit happening, this universe is a serious fucking universe. Despite all the goofy fucking like, it's serious. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, the tone is just completely weird because, like I said, it's lighthearted in some parts, and in other parts, it's freaking Kylo Ren putting a lightsaber through a guy's head, and then you see the freaking wound. Like, hey, that scene is awesome. It's freaking awesome. Like, me and God can agree. That was an awesome scene. But still, like, y'all cutting off limbs and everything left and right over here, but then you got the porgs over here, and you got some freaking horse spot, like space horse thing that Finn and the new character Rose are just riding through. It's just like, what are you going for here? Like, it just does not fit at all with what y'all trying to do. Like,
you didn't feel like this. You didn't feel like this was also linked up to how Rogue One did that too? Because Rogue One is basically a Star Wars Black Hawk Down, and then you watch the fucking thing, and it's this big robot thing that's pretty funny. You get fucking Forrest Whitaker, which I don't know if I was supposed to laugh, but goddamn, that show's hilarious.
You know
Like,
what? I'm mad because obviously I feel like Gareth Edwards and Rian Johnson, they first had a vision to make this serious Star Wars film that would have probably been really great. But then Disney or you know, what's Catherine Kennedy, right? Is that her name? Sorry, my bad. Anyway, she just, like, they look at what they have and they're like, okay, we can't do this. This has to be for the whole family. So we need to add in some jokes here. We need to add in some lighthearted parts here. We can't have it too dark. So, like, that ends up ruining the script overall. You know, it just ruins the story flow.
Yeah, I would argue that this is all Disney's fault or Kathleen Kennedy's fault, because having seen some of Rian Johnson's other movies, you know, Rian Johnson can be a really good director, and when he's really inspired, he has some great ideas. But looking at Looper, like, this is what I thought really close to this movie. Looper has some really great plot elements and some very inspired sequences, and then somewhere in between there'll always be wedged these dumb subplots, like that useless what's his name, the son of the bad guy character in Looper, who was just totally excessive and pointless to the story. I felt like that was a big problem here with Rian Johnson, where it's like, yeah, you know, he has these really inspired moments, and then he's just shoving like, well, what if we did this too? And you're like, well, that just derails the entire experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I can see what you mean with that, though, in that case.
Now, I want to focus something really quick, too, but, like, Justin, you were salty as fuck. I know you haven't had much of a chance to say why you're salty up, but this is your chance. Take the fucking spotlight, dude. Go fucking nuts. Spread that salt everywhere. What's going on?
Okay. Let's say this. I see Garrett. John just adjusted my audio, so thank you. I will try.
You're a little low.
Okay. My biggest problems with this movie, because I will agree with Ali in here saying a few things. I think this movie does have some very inspired and good sequences. I think almost everything with Rey and Kylo Ren and Luke is great. Like, all of their plot stuff on the whole is well developed. It does new stuff with the characters. It feels like they had something inspired to go with it. Poe Dameron feels like he's locked in a subplot that has nothing to do with him. Like, he's great, and Oscar Isaac's playing him really well, but he gets saddled with these dumb, boring new characters who really... Okay, I walked out of this movie with a couple people who I'd never met in my life. They were all varying degrees of Star Wars fans. And the one thing that even I could hear them talking behind me, they're like, were you as confused as I was in this sequence here when all these other characters had totally inconsistent motivations with each other? Because, like, on the one hand, I mean, again, I'm not going to spoil nothing, saying Poe is at odds with certain characters, specifically Laura Dern's character who comes into the story. And the stuff they do, I'm assuming they're trying to sell a theme of and character development with Poe, but it's so nonsensical. It has no weight and it has no satisfying payoff that by the time it's all over, it's like, what was the point of that? It just filled up time. And nothing was worse of an offender than that than Finn and Rose's storylines, because first of all, they do nothing with Finn that's relevant. He has no gradual. I mean, the one moment he has a big hero moment, it felt like it was just over too quickly. It was just like, that's it. That's all we got for that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something really unpopular here too. Rose is a terrible character. She's useless to the story. And Megan Tran is not a good actress. She's not good in this role. She's boring. She has bad reactions, bad line delivery. And the one moment when the character does something useful, like the story tries to frame it as useful, it looks heroic in the context of the one scene. But if you think about what she did to other people as a response, again, that's one thing. She practically screws over a whole group of people just like, but I wanted to do the right thing. It's like, the right thing is gonna get so many people killed.
Yeah. By the way,
and again, it's just if this movie could have been a good movie, it would have been so easy to fix if it wasn't 2.5 freaking hours. It's way too long, and there's so many excessive sequences that just feel like, why did we go to the casino planet? It had no purpose.
oh, I love you so much.
My people need to put advertisement for the Hard Rock, all right?
And even then, it's like, and then all these new characters again. Rosa sucks. Haldo is just. I can't even say how to describe her without being inappropriate about it. It's just she's a prick. She's a jerk, and they try to sell you as if she's the greatest character ever. And then Benicio del Toro, why did they even call him? His character is so useless to the plot.
I didn't even know he was in this movie.
Exactly. See, Benicio del Toro is one of my favorite actors. And when they bring out, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. I like Benicio. And then by the time they're done, it was like, oh yeah, he was in this movie. It was just.
Yeah. Wow. I am so. Because the thing is, I think weren't you kind of not a big fan of Rogue One, and you and Ganja kind of went back and forth on each other about this?
I cut him.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing with this movie is that, Rogue One, in context, there's entirely different problems with Rogue One than there are with Last Jedi, because Rogue One's biggest problems were its characters. And on the flip side, that battle sequence at the end of Rogue One was fantastic. It's a really well choreographed and edited battle sequence that we just sit through an hour and a half to get to. Last Jedi's problem is that it has some really great lead characters that were introduced in Force Awakens, and it has some really good ideas and some really good sequences of drama and tension and stuff. And there's tons of stuff in the middle, interspersed throughout the movie that just drags it down. And Allie, I'm surprised. I mean, I'm glad that you said your mom pretty much fell asleep during this movie. I started to wander like crazy halfway through.
Me too. I was checking my watch. I was like, whoa, because I just was like, I feel so bad. I've never been more bored in a Star Wars movie. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, even Attack of the Clones, like, at least the Finn parts. I will say that. Like, those parts, I was looking at my watch. Everything with Rey, everything with Kylo Ren, everything with Luke, I was like, okay, I'm focused. I love this. This is great. But everything else, like with Poe, with Finn and Rose, I'm just like, what? Man, I'm sorry, I'm bored. Like, I can't. I feel so bad because it's like this is my franchise. I love it so much. I wanted to love this so badly, and I went in not having like high expectations just because I don't want to over hype myself. But I was just like, what's more frustrating is when you see an amazing movie and they do something to just lower lower the rating. You're just like, man, you're almost there. You're almost there. Y'all had it. And then why did you have to put this in here?
The movie started off really strong. Like, it had a really great opening sequence and a big battle that happens early on.
Yeah, I actually want to talk about that big battle sequence in the first half of the movie. Honestly, if you're going to go see this movie, if you really want to get those battle sequences in the best kind of way that you can see them, you have to kind of cough up the extra $10-15 for the RPX or the 3D. The great 3D theater, because I don't know if they really went out their way with the 3D camera this time, y'all, but every time they showed the space scenes, it really added depth to a lot of the spaceships that it almost felt like I was watching like real models in front of me fight in space. And there was one scene where you actually have there's some scenes that the ships come towards you, and usually with those 3D, especially if they're not doing the actual like Lava Boy and Shark Girl bullshit where something comes at you, it doesn't look good. But I don't know if the director really wanted to make the space scenes in depth and give them a proper function that they look like it's really happening in front of you. But with that, I don't know if it was IMAX or a certain camera he took, but whatever kind of art style he took with the direction, it made these models look alive. It felt like I was hovering above an RTS board, and all these ships were really fighting each other. To the point that I believed a lot of the stuff when Poe was going back and forth with the Empire in the first half of the film. And it just made it more exciting for me. But then you get to the middle half of the story, which just turns into a bullshit James Bond film for some reason. And Benicio del Toro is a wasteful character. He does one thing, which I'll get into next week, that I really appreciate because it's different from what the series is mainly known for. But besides that, he's kind of useless. There's no real reason for his character to be there. When you get to this Finn and Rose story, that is just a fucking crowbar and a half. You guys said you were just zoning off. I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention like a Star Wars nerd should be. I was just staring at it with love in my heart. Like, it's Star Wars. It's going to be good. Just ignore it. I'll think about it after the movie. Star Wars. And now that I'm out of that high, I'm realizing how fucking forced. I didn't like that they basically took a lot of stuff from number 5 and number 6 that were direct rip-offs. I'm not going to go until next Saturday, and that's probably going to be my tagline for this. Next Saturday, I'll see you. But if they did a lot, it was wasted the Ready Player One that I got on his ass for it. And that's not what I wanted out of the Star Wars. I wanted something different, something new. And when they did something different, it was great. Some of the stuff they did different that I wasn't expecting actually got me hype and enjoyed the film. But then they just went right back into the comfort of regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now, really quick. You, Ellie, Justin, everyone's been talking shit. I'm gonna give one last shot and see if you can get anything positive. My son, Trey. Oh,
Okay. I know you. The fact no one you're the one to go on the offensive on me. You were just like, man, you wrong, Justin. I was like,
No, but Trey, take it away, sir. Because, by the way, if you guys do not know who Trey is, he is my co-host on the Ringside Hangout. He is the man. He is the bomb.com. But Trey, go ahead and take it away, sir. I love you, kid.
Thank you. I appreciate that awesome intro you gave me. Honestly, I love the movie, man. Like, this movie was amazing to me. And you got to know that I don't watch trailers. Like, I go into movie blind. I put my expectations really low because I just want to enjoy the movie for what it is. And that's what I did. Like, I didn't go in there to, like, compare it. Like, because the thing is, I see a lot of people doing that, comparing it to 5 and 6. In my opinion, I didn't really see that. Like, I thought it was a well enough movie on its own. And even then, it's like with the jokes, like a lot of people are jumping on the jokes on this movie about just because it's Disney and they know the Disney tropes or whatever. But then a lot of people like to ignore that episode 6, like the worst offender of them all, had Ewoks in it just so George Lucas can do his animated Ewok show that bombed, by the way. But just because it's Disney, we're just kind of like, oh yeah, it's Disney, these bad jokes, you know. I just think a lot of people are just kind of more biased against this movie because it's probably Disney doing this thing. And I didn't like Force Awakens, so even then, most of the stuff that did happen in this movie that didn't really pertain to Force Awakens, I was actually okay with because I didn't like that movie at all. I just liked how the movie kind of just stood on its own without the Force Awakens stuff. So yeah, I love the movie, man. It came out being awesome to me.
well, Trey, it's okay sometimes. I understand.
Oh, you guys. No, but I mean, really though, I do like getting another opinion on this too because the thing is, Trey doesn't really. I mean, he fangirls out over certain things, but it's like with Star Wars, I don't think I've ever seen Trey actually fangirl out. Like, I do feel like maybe it's the trailers because I feel like the trailers show too much, anyways. That trailer that keeps showing, by the way, throughout this entire thing, that's the fucking teaser, y'all, and it's 2 minutes and 34 seconds. I could have sworn trailers were 2 minutes and 20 seconds, not fucking teasers. What the fuck? So very strange to me. You know, but I mean, and Trey doesn't watch these, and I feel like, man, I think I would be hyped too to see, like, you know, what's her name, Ray, when she in the fucking ground shaking, and she's like, oh yes, I'm feeling that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, no, Trey, I can't wait to watch this movie with you, Nick, because I want Trey to be there, because I'm gonna sit there and hold his hand and be like, yo, your boyfriend's about to get mad. You think that scene is hype? I can't wait to see you watching in person.
Well, for the first time.
On that point, Nick, the trailers, I will give this one credit to the movie as well. The movie actually doesn't spoil too much in the trailers. That's the thing that surprised me the most. That there were quite a few twists in the movie that I didn't see coming.
I disagree.
Again, you can be wrong if you want to, but
No, but Trey, wait for that.
I know
Trey.
you noticed it because we actually had an argument about one scene. They did a complete honest fake out where I thought something was going to happen in the actual movie that
The handshake.
Oh,
we can't say it. We can't say it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. And anyone who saw the movie or saw the trailers know what I'm hinting at. But the fact that they did a good fake out, I applaud them. Usually they fuck up with the trailers, and that's actually in the movie.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But, I mean, I'm going to have Trey actually do this first since he's so positive. If we're going to be doing this, I want to start off as positive as we can. Whoa, that's a nice new picture. Looking all fine, cute with your ears and everything.
Finally, it's about time.
Yo, no, welcome here. And
Oh,
okay, I wasn't going to raise, but actually, let me get your opinion really quick before we actually jam out, because we're about to leave. But Adrian, what'd you feel about Star Wars? Do you agree with Allie and Justin and I was about to call him
well, I
Gary.
didn't get a chance to hear some of you guys, but
It was
yeah,
more
I
like
can
this.
see
They
you guys have.
no, I was just gonna tell you what they said,
Okay,
just so
can
you
you
know.
hear
No, I can hear you. They basically just said that it
Oh,
sucked, and that was the worst thing.
No, I mean,
We
I
didn't
can
say it sucked.
I had my issues with it, sure. The whole plot line with Finn and, well, I won't get into it, of course, but honestly, I felt like I was nodding off during those scenes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, some of the humor fell flat for me too, but I thought Mark Hamill was great. Kylo Ren in this was great. He annoyed the fuck out of me in Force Awakens, honestly.
What? How did he annoy the
He
fuck out of
did.
me? Man.
Man, Nick,
come
you'll
on.
love Kylo even more in this movie. I will say that.
No, they
Yeah.
do
He
a
was
lot.
really good. I think he was like better written in this time around, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, his development is one of the best things about the movie. So I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, because I love me some Kylo Ren, man, and it has nothing to do with how gorgeous that dude is. Okay, I promise.
I
But-
know, Nick, you don't want to make your boyfriend jealous, so don't talk too much about that.
Oh yeah, that's true. Trey's like, oh, no. But no, well, actually, Adrian, I'll just start off with you then. Like, I mean, I know you never really looked at this kind of like rating or anything before, so like usually like bi would be like a 5, and then fuck would be like a 0. So like in between there, what would you give it?
I'd probably give it a buy it, definitely. I mean, I like the movie. It's got its issues, but it's more like a low buy it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
almost like
yeah.
buy it, but don't buy like the regular version, then the Blu-ray, and then the special edition, and then this. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But-
Oh no, but no, I enjoy it. I don't think it's like deserves all the hate it's been getting, but yeah.
Yeah.
What can you do?
gotcha.
Nerds, you know.
Yeah, I know nerds and no fucking opinions are fucking whack anyway. They're fucking stupid people. You know. No, but Trey, how about you, sir? I'm really curious, Mr. Positivity.
Well, I'm buy it all the way, and I'm not even low buy it. It's high buy it for me. And like I said, I just came out loving this movie so much. I'm surprised by how much I love this movie. That's the thing, because I thought it was gonna be some bullcrap like Force Awakens was, but then I love Rogue One, so I was kind of in the middle of things, and I ended up loving this movie way more than Rogue One and Force Awakens. It was a fun ride all the way through. I love that I can just sit there and enjoy the movie for what it was and get everything out of it the way I wanted it to, without watching trailers or anything. Because one thing I did after watching the movie is I watched that first trailer, and I know I would have been pissed off because to me it told too much. So I'm glad I did it the way I did and just enjoyed the movie for what it was. So yeah, high buy it.
Oh yes, Justin Zarian. What would you give it, sir? With just salty ass.
Okay, I'm going to qualify this too by saying, one, this is irrelevant to the movie. I was a little salty because I was supposed to go with a date to another movie tonight, and they canceled on me. So.
Oh, okay.
But two, also, I was a little salty because I saw two really great movies before I saw Star Wars. I saw 3 Billboards and Lady Bird, which were great.
Oh,
Oh,
Great.
nice.
So that did set my bar a little high. But I did want to go in being fair because I know one of my best friends came out spewing hate for this movie, like from the opening night, and I was shocked. I'm like, is it really that bad? It can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. And I went in and I tried to be as fair as possible because, I mean, again, lifelong Star Wars fan in the sense that it really inspired me to go like movies. You know, watching the early Star Wars, I got into movies because of Star Wars and Jurassic Park. Those were the 2 big ones. And just trying to judge it on its own merits, I just, as a guy who also did like Force Awakens a lot, I just found this to be really underwhelming. I just found that the script wasn't all that good. It was very inconsistent where there'll be really good, sharp lines of dialogue, and then these awkward jokes or these really flat speeches. Like freaking Rose, anytime she tries to make a speech or a
Oh,
point.
I did not care for her character at all.
No, exactly, because I mean, one of my friends tried to say that she and Holdo are really kind of not feminist agenda, but they're very aggressively progressive characters in the sense that they're being written, which I didn't feel that agenda fully, but they do feel awkwardly crowbarred. Like, no, we can't do this, or oh my gosh, especially some of the stuff they do to try and paint who's the good guy and who's the bad guy in this scene. Did you guys laugh in that bit when they show how awful this gambling planet is, where they happen to look over in the binoculars like, hey, look, here's all this stuff going on, all the worst crimes in the world right here.
I know.
It was really obnoxious and badly directed, badly executed. And it just went back and forth with me so much that I got kind of worn out by this movie, where it's just like, wow, this stuff with Luke and Rey is really good. Now we're back to Finn again, and it was just so underwhelming. And it didn't help that I would say the climax of this movie was really, really mostly solid. Like the actual big, yeah, again. But I was almost out of stream it at that point. I'm like, okay, it ended on a high note. And then there was that last scene, and I won't say anything about it, but there's that last scene that came out of nowhere, served no purpose, and brought me down to an avoidant. And I'm sorry, I'm feeling this way where I'm like, I think this movie is okay. It's not awful. I mean, when I say avoid it, I really mean rent it, because I'm thinking on the old DT logic. But if I had to go with my gut feeling, I just didn't really care for this at all. Rogue One at least ended on a high note with the battle sequence. This one just kind of farted out by the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I will say, dude, like, you're right with the Rogue One thing. That movie, it's one of my most hated Star Wars movies, but that ending, I go back and watch that at least like once every couple months. I fucking love that ending so much, man.
And one of the biggest problems with that too is that one opening action sequence was great, but most of the action was really not remarkable in this film. Like even like that big lightsaber fight that happens, it was okay. The big scene where they clearly rip off Hoth, that was too short. A lot of the other big action sequences, they feel like prolonged stretches of stuff happening rather than an actual battle scene or an action sequence. Like Force Awakens had that really awesome lightsaber battle. Rogue One had the really great, awesome final battle. This one kind of blew its load in the first 20 minutes.
Right. That really does suck. But Allie, how about you, girl? Like, you know, your rating and just any last words.
Well, yeah. All right. So, yeah, it was underwhelming, like what Justin said. Again, there are some great moments. Really, I think some amazing moments in this movie. And I seriously, there are a lot of things I did not see coming. Like, I was like, okay, this scene's gonna, turn out like this. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, you're doing something completely different. Like, you kind of turn his head, like, right when you think, oh, crap, man, it's just gonna be episode 6 or it's just gonna be episode 5. Oh, no, okay, they're going somewhere different with this. I like it. I really like the character progression with Kylo Ren, with Rey. Those two, I think, are the most interesting characters. Of course, Luke. But those two are really interesting. Luke, like I said, Luke, his progression with his character was really fascinating to me, and I thought that was the most interesting. And the thing is that, yeah, I thought that there was just a part. I felt like this had too many freaking stages in it. Like, there's too many acts, like what DT said, because I was just like, okay, well, this is going on for a while. Oh, this is really long. Where's the scene from that trailer? Like, where they're on the planet? I don't know where that is. Oh, okay, hour later, like, oh, wait, they're just getting to that? I thought they were finishing up in this scene here. Oh, okay, they're still going. Okay. Oh, you guys got more stuff? When's this ending? When is this ending? Like, I don't know when you're ending, and it does something. You're like, oh my god, this is amazing! Yes, I don't want this to end. And then it ends, and you're like, what the heck? Wait, what the heck did you do? That's how it was. Like, yes. Wait, what? And then it ends.
I know.
Oh my god.
That's how it ended.
Yeah, if they had stopped 2 minutes ahead of when it actually stopped, it would have been great.
It would have been fine. It would have been fine. Like, like, okay, but like that last part, I'm just like, y'all, really?
Damn,
really? Why did you do this? But I mean, it's really difficult for me because of course, I love Star Wars so much. And is it better than the prequels? Yes, I will say that. I think it is.
Don't fuck that.
It's better than The Phantom Menace. It's better than Attack of the Clones. It's better than I'll even say Revenge of the Sith because it has some amazing stuff in it. But it's just jumbled up in tone. It's jumbled up in pacing. And I just feel like I'm really worried about the future of these movies. I really do have my doubts that they can make at least episodes be like really original and think first about the story, then to think about, oh, let's see how many toys we can sell with this character. Let's see what type of stuff we can do to make the kids happy instead of doing a more well-rounded like movie, like thinking about quantity over quality. That's where I'm starting to think more now, and they'll take more advantage of their spin-off. That's what me and Ganja were talking about the other day. They're talking like the Star Wars story. They're probably going to take more risk with those. So I'm really scared about where these movies are going, because this is kind of my fears come to realize, where there's some inspiration, but then y'all gotta keep like, hey guys, remember this? Remember that? Oh, isn't this cute? Oh, isn't this funny?
Yeah.
So for me, it breaks my heart. I felt back. Like, if you are new to Star Wars, this is not the movie you should watch. First off, I'm sorry. Like, my boss, she came to me and she's like, Allie, I need to know, will I like this new Star Wars movie? My boyfriend is dragging me to this. And I was like, you know what? I was like, stay away from it. I felt it broke my heart to say, I'm sorry, this at least this episode is not for you. Like, I would have started with Force Awakens, if anything.
Yes.
This one, this one I'm just like, no, I can't recommend people who've never watched Star Wars watch the new recent one. I can't do it. So I'm gonna say rent it. Yeah. I'm sorry, it breaks my heart, like I said, because you all know how much I love Star Wars. Star Wars is my life. The reason I love film. It's the reason I breathe. You know, honestly, like I love it so much. So it pains me the most to say that I can't recommend Star Wars to someone who's new to it. Like, I'm not excited to say, oh yes, you should definitely go check this out. I can't say it.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta say one thing too. I think someone made a comment about this, and Double Toaster, one of us, that somehow the First Order seems to have an unlimited amount of just giant cannons and guns and machines they can just pull out of nowhere. Especially
I know,
at
right?
one point, I looked at the movie and I was texting my friend because I was sitting in the corner of the theater. I'm like, oh my gosh, without saying what it actually is, did you guys get the vibe that there was this one sequence that's pretty much Avatar: The Last Airbender with one thing they bring out of nowhere at the very end of the movie? It's like, oh my gosh, it's that episode of that show, but with Star Wars. Just,
yeah.
I want to talk about it, but I don't want to say anything. I'm just wow.
Wednesday will be the day when we do this. So hopefully, you can be able to come over there during that shit. But Gaja, I'm saving you for last for a reason, dude, because I know I am scared how your reaction is going to be. I mean, right now, I feel like right now inside Gaja is this fucking dude, John Boyega, just like, oh god.
No, I'm Kylo Ren when he's about to kill his fucking father at the end of Force Awakens. Spoilers. But man, all right. There's 2 reviews for this, Nick. I'm gonna do it sweet and quick because Allie went through most of the points. As a Star Wars fan, as somebody who grew up with this, remembers having good memories watching the movies with my mom, with her doing the hairstyle as Leia, and my dad dressing up as Darth Vader in the mornings, and us playing Star Wars battles together. All this good memory shit. Boy, did this just kill all my goodwill like a motherfucker. Man, if I this movie, Nick, and I think this is the first time I became an adult. Like, I'm sitting through this and I'm like, no, this is just like this one. This is like this one. No, references. Start with the references. Do something new. Okay, something new. Fuck references again. Why? And I sitting through it and trying to lie to myself and just holding on to the space battles. Some of the moments I liked that were just good character development between Finn and Luke, and seeing where Luke has progressed and how he's become. Mark Hamill hits it out of the fucking water playing Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah, he does.
I'm glad to see him come back because I was worried he was going to either be the farm boy still from the early movies because they wanted to play like either a jokey version, or he was going to be a fucking Yoda, which I feared the most if he was going to play like a crazy old man. And no, that he does the complete opposite, whereas you're just sitting there expecting something opposite for him to do. He does this different. I'm not going to go into details because you were going to appreciate his acting style. And he's grounded. A lot of these characters are not grounded. And he's one of the few that are really grounded into what's happening in this universe. And the interaction between the old cast is amazing, y'all. You're going to appreciate every time you see these guys interact again. But besides that, it's all under my nostalgia factor. Like, I'm hyping it under again by saying the original cast. Mark Hamill's great in it. But when I actually watched the new character, Rosa, I didn't like her as well. I like some of her interaction with Finn because she felt like a fangirl who was really into him. And imagine if you took down the Death Star. I imagine you're going to be spread through all the fucking Rebel news stations. Everyone's going to hear about your name. So it was like almost this person being their hero and realizing he still ain't shit. And that's one of the things that sparked off their adventure. But besides that, there's just nothing really developing that's out of the ordinary for these films. And when you get into the Kylo Ren and Rey stuff, that's the most strongest part in the film. And I feel like works the hardest, and anyone who likes this movie is going to appreciate it. But when you get to the rest of the film, it's not like that. And it's going to make you change your opinion on Star Wars because it did it for me. As a fanboy, I told Allie full price. And she straight up looked at me straight in my eyes. I was like, no, you mean rental. You mean rental.
You mean matinee.
No. Ali, now I mean, fuck you. All right, if you want Ganja the People, I give it a fuck you or avoid it. Honestly, it's one of those movies that I think people are gonna have to not go see it. People who are hardcore Star Wars fans, I know you're gonna see it because you're like me and just gonna support it no matter what, and you want to see what kind of train wreck it is. But if you're someone who's iffy with the film, it's not any different than Force Awakens, honestly. And I think you should avoid it. Stream it at the most kindness I can be. But as a hardcore Star Wars fan who loves the canon, who loves the expanded universe, all the extra stuff, I say rent it. You're still gonna have a great time, even if you're one of those hardcore nerds that love the nostalgia factor and just pointing out stuff that's the same as the original movies. You're gonna enjoy it. So just rent it. But other than that, avoid it. Don't fuck around with it. And guys, I can't wait to talk about the spoiler because, as just said, that fucking ending, that almost made this movie a fuck you.
Yeah, no,
This shit's on all Star Wars lore.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. We'll definitely do that for the midweek chat type people. That's gonna be on Wednesday. But hopefully Alan is back.
Sorry, one last note. I'll also say when you talk about how great Luke Skywalker is, I think Mark Hamill probably had the single biggest laugh in this whole movie early on in the film.
He did.
I was so waiting for that moment to happen, and when it did, I was so caught off guard. I'm like, oh.
Oh wait, was it the early scene?
His very first scene. That very
Yes,
first
oh
part.
man, that was
Yes.
everyone was
Oh,
laughing
man.
in the theater. That was like, yep, that was great.
I know Chris, it sounds hard, man, but you gotta take it from my point of view. I've seen everyone lambast this movie hard and have valid reasons. At least with Force Awakens, I can defend Star Wars. I can't defend The Last Jedi.
See, I couldn't defend Force Awakens though. Like, that's the thing. Like, Last Jedi has been divided to a T. Like, I've seen people who love it, people who hate it. It's literally dividing the fan base. Force Awakens didn't do that. Force Awakens, pretty much everybody has the same opinion for the most part. It was just pretty much Episode 4. So, and that's why I felt the way I did about Force Awakens.
Yeah,
Some people like Force Awakens, some people didn't. So
it is what it is. Because for me not being a Star Wars fan, I love that shit. But then again, I also like Phantom Menace, so I just suck.
Hey, me too. No, I'm a prequel boy. You know this.
Oh yeah, of course. No, prequel memes all the way, dude.
Prequel for life, man.
Okay,
Prequel for life?
not 2 and 3. Allie, I still won't forgive you for making me watch 2 and 3. You're a horrible person. That was evil. That was fucked up. I did not have to see those. But people know that's going to be it for us though tonight, though. So here's the thing, though. After the show, we always do this thing. Oh, my boy Alan's back. Hey, man, guess who dies at the end of the movie? Hey, blah, blah, blah. I'm just playing. He left too much spoilers. No, but yeah, what I was going to basically say, and I guess Alan can say this, like, what's going to be happening after the show, man?
We are just gonna open up a rap. We're just gonna chill, and Gon's gonna torture y'all with some shitty music.
Oh, fucking absolutely, yeah.
So I can fucking save myself and my humor and my reputation as this man shits on it like the bird. But guys, like you mentioned, we're actually doing music videos or music in general. Usually when we do this, it's off the cuff and it's just off spontaneously, and you guys just do it anyway. But now we actually want to make it that you guys enjoy it. So we're gonna keep the videos to either 5 to 10 minutes, right? You guys come in, you got your best songs, your best music videos, something interesting, something kooky, something crazy, maybe something even funny, and bring it in and just have us enjoy it. But like I said, keep the time limit between 5 and 10 minutes. 10 minutes, only one video. If you got 5 minutes or lower, we'll allow you to do 2 videos because that's how it works, guys. We're fair and honest. And not only that, make sure Nick, make sure if you pull up that Facebook page so I can tell the people about the fun we had.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot, buddy. But what actually happens on that Facebook page?
Well, guys, me and Alan, we do a video game show that we are just so proud to do for you guys. We get crazy, we joke around. You guys watch me almost lose my shit over Contra because the computer system gave me shit and the game gave me shit. So I'm kind of angry during the gameplay. So you guys come down to the Midnight Chat Attack Facebook page. You guys click on the link. We also post a lot of content there when it comes to like joining the shows, memes, artwork. Also, you can also post some content as well. So, for example, you guys can go up there and ask us your questions on the nights. We'll check those DM boxes. Make sure to send them in the DM boxes because that's the way the crew can all see it and judge if it's a good question tonight or not. And since Nick pulled it up, make sure to check out our Untitled video game show, MCA property. You know how it works. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You guys watch me suck at video games, and you watch Alan Rage Quit. It's just great times for everybody in the family.
And please, people, vote for us to play Rocket League just one more time. Just one more time.
Nope.
Please.
I retired.
Next week, because my computer decided to kill itself. I know this is a repeating joke, and until I get my PC back, that bitch killed itself. And we're going to be doing a lot of 8-bit and 16-bit games because me and Alan's system are old school, and they can't really handle it. So until I get my computer back, guys, go onto the Facebook page or onto the PM section. Let us know what type of Super Nintendo games, maybe even N64 games. Maybe we could push it up to that. What you want to see us play and just do commentary on, just bullshit in the chat room.
Absolutely, yes. But here's the thing, though, people. That's going to be happening on Friday. But until then, we're going to play some video games. Not video games. We're going to play some music videos. We're going to talk shit about them because knowing Ganja and Alan is going to be awful trash because I hate it. If it's not corn, it's bad. So, but thank you very much. And on 3, Ganja Guru, we're going to really quick, too. I just want to let y'all know something. We might be doing some more video game streams later on the week, too. So make sure you keep it locked on the Midnight Chat Attack YouTube channel and get into the YouTube chat. Maybe if you guys have a game that you want to play with us, you can tell me. Tell me on Facebook. We can play together. It'd be great. Anyways, on 1, on 2, on 3.
Attack the mother beeping chat.